then you go out and it's Cletus in a fucking double wide that he's built stairs out of pallets.
Mm-hmm. Welcome
Got a
right
fucking
in.
Orlicon AA mount on the roof. The fuck's that for? Chemtrails!
Damn trails.
Wow.
An Orlican. Jesus Christ. I think the FBI should be made aware of this.
The South?
No.
They know.
They did a whole movie about the FBI discovering the South.
Mm-hmm. What movie is that?
Mississippi
Deliverance, I think.
Deliverance and Mississippi Burning could not be further apart.
All right. Well, since we have a full house again, guys. Wow. 6 people. God, this is just the worst time for it, because it is going to be yet another. Well, last time was a 3-threat game. Do I make it a 4? I think I do. I think we're going to have our first...
Make it a 4-threat game, you automatically get a nuke to kill us all with. I don't think that's fair.
I mean, the warp core is right there.
I mean, it's only 24 threat, right?
No,
Right,
you said
need
4-threat game. That means you only get 4 threat. You've already said it. It's locked in.
No, sorry, guys. Hello.
No takesy backsies.
No takesy backsies. All right.
How about just the 2 threat per person showed up?
There's 6. No.
That'd be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. That'd be total 12 threats.
But I want 24 threat. Can we compromise with 3?
Wait,
People are getting mad.
24 is fine. I mean, we're all going to buy for threat anyway.
That's
Yeah,
not wrong.
I want a Klingon style 80 threat game here.
I ain't
That's
scared
what
of
I want. Alrighty. Well, is there anything that needs to be set up on anybody's end before the session?
No, I'm good.
I should maybe stop streaming Bandmade.
Perhaps. Yeah. Your stream actually just has our game on it. So, for me.
Well, it should also have the audio.
Oh, I'm not clicking into that. How many people? Hello, everybody. It's been a great week. Everybody who's ready though?
Yep.
Ready, willing, and able.
Roger.
All right. Roger. It's not my name. So continuing. All right. Are we recording? We've been recording for the past 20 minutes, right?
Since Cletus and the double wide, yep.
Comes Cletus and the double wide. All right. Welcome everybody to the USS Guan. Whatever session this is in the season, so we've lost count. I am your wonderful GM, Tyler. 8. It's officially 8.
Yes, it is.
It is. See, episode 8 of whatever season it is. We've lost count.
Still
Continuing. It's still 3. We're still season 3. Okay.
We've only had the 2 arc milestones, so I think yes.
You want to try this again?
Yeah, let's try it
You want
again.
to roll it back?
Right before.
Sure, we'll get around that.
Welcome to the USS Guan, Season 3, Episode 8, I believe. I don't know, we've lost track. Continuing on with our adventures in the Shackleton Expanse. We have, again, a full mid of people today, and it's really, really awesome to have this many players. So when a 4th red game pops up, like today is, as you can see, starting off the game with 24 Mackie threat points in order that we are going to be starting out with today. Our wonderful players have found themselves on the edge of a expanding anomaly in this area of space, right near the Delta Doradus star system. And right away, we find ourselves, let's pull everybody to the bridge. What is current ship status right now?
So we detected the anomaly. We called a full stop. We're still at yellow alert.
Yellow alert heard. Awesome. The yellow sort of light pulsing on the bridge. You hear sort of supporting staff running around, making sure that everything is in where it needs to be. Captain Edwards, everybody, I believe, is on the bridge. I leave it to Captain Edwards. What are we doing?
Well, we've got a weird-looking thing directly in front of us. Woodyard, what am I looking at?
I believe that is the wormhole creating device or something. It's on the ship. Scans are saying that matches the graviton neutrino signature of wormholes.
And GM, correct me if I'm wrong, we can see a ship. If I remember correctly from last week.
You are able to detect a general location of a vessel, in which the reason why it's only a general location is because your sensors, even though the Intrepid, the USS Guan is an Intrepid style ship and it has some of the best sensors in the fleet. The composition of this anomaly, combined with whatever gravimetric distortions are deeper inside, are getting an exact fix on the location very difficult.
Okay, cool.
I will go ahead and start off here. Ensign, I will give you a roll to start us off with. Please give me... this is to... I mean, your sensors are picking up some information in regards to the exact specifications and of this nebula... not nebula, the anomaly. Go ahead and give me a reason science roll. Difficulty of 2.
Any focuses?
That's a really good question. Let me look at your sheet.
I've got astrophysics, quantum mechanics, sensor operations.
All of them will apply. You got to focus.
Sweet.
Are we going to be buying any dice?
With a 2, and those are my best ones. You know what? Let's just... There's no momentum. You got enough threat.
Alrighty.
Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and just see what I can do. I've got a pretty good chance, I think.
Okay.
2 successes here. Famous last words.
Right.
Of course.
Really famous last words.
Of course. And I didn't spend anything, so I don't get to Oh, but wait a minute. I do have technical expertise. Whenever you attempt a task assisted by the ship's computers or sensors, you may re-roll 1d20.
Thank you for the reminder. This also will be assisted by the ship with sensor science. You are, with technical expertise, you can roll a third dice in your pool, correct? And that'll help, and the ship will also roll sensor science.
That was the ship.
Oh, was it? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Titan, I believe, with technical expertise, you get to roll one more roll.
Let me get rid of that. Let me get rid of that complication then. And
oh, that complication is currently standing right now. You would just be rolling a third dice. So we'll take care of the complication after the roll, after all the dice are rolled.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Oh my god.
Of course. Of
Oh
course.
jeez. All right.
It can't all be six successes rolls, I guess, right?
No. You
Apparently not.
Jack is over here just meditating. That is 3 successes on a difficulty 2 roll. 1 momentum was generated. We do have 2 standing complications. These
1 technically.
no, he rolled.
Re-roll.
There wasn't a reroll, so it was it is a third dice with his technical expertise. So that is 2 complications currently on the table. Ensign, do you have any other way to re-roll your pool at this point?
When the science officer succeeds the task by the ship's computer, assisted by the ship's computers or sensors, or use no, that's 1 bonus momentum for obtaining information. So I got that at least. No, I don't. Untapped potential does not occur. Does not apply here either.
This is going to be then the only way that I could foresee you getting rid of these complications would be a determination spend. If you have a value that you can apply to this situation, you can spend a determination to then re-roll your entire pool.
So early.
Yes, however, that would be your daily for the day.
You can, however, spend a milestone to get it back, but that is if you have a milestone back.
He just started.
Yeah, just a
He just
reminder.
have any milestones yet?
I mean, he may not have any saved milestones today, but just a reminder for the future.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Got it. Okay. I mean, let's just. I went all last session without using a determination. So, how about is good enough never good enough? A good value for determination.
I think
Yeah.
never leave the third one is probably
Never
better.
leave a puzzle.
that.
So, yes, that was going to be my second one because I don't know if I'm scanning to try and figure out what this is, or if I just botched the sensor. Yeah, never leave a puzzle unsolved. How about that?
Yeah, the third one is definitely a better fit here. So go ahead and re-roll. It's going to be 3 dice, three dice that you're re-rolling, or you can just elect to re-roll the 2 complications.
I'll re-roll all 3 dice.
Re-roll all 3 dice. All right.
Much better.
Much better. Okay. That in total is 4, 5, 6 successes on a difficulty 2, so that is 4 momentum generated.
Just a quick question. I don't want to sound like a dick or not, but
Yeah.
I mean, would the Guan Yu roll stand, or would he have to re-roll that one too?
Yep. That you're not sounding like a dick. That's a perfectly valid roll. Valid question. Yeah, that Guan Yu roll, that would be that would stand. Yeah.
Just real quick, I'm gonna spend 3 momentum and give him back his determination as the executive officer.
Oh, holy crap! Thanks.
Okay. How much? Sorry.
3
How does that
momentum.
work? 3 momentum. Okay. 3 momentum here for that. You do get a free. So I'll give you the some of the bigger details that stick out to you about this anomaly here, and then I'll allow you to ask further questions. This anomaly has several negative effects that will affect your ship at to a lesser extent at the sort of the edge, quote unquote, of the anomaly, and they will get worse as you sort of get towards the epicenter of the anomaly. The main and quite the large effect that this will have will you're sort of looking at the data and you notice that this area is, once you're inside, you are not going to be able to go to. One further thing, though, the further that you go into the anomaly, the less likelihood, the lower the chance that your warp core will be able to function, even if you were to leave the anomaly.
I don't know if this counts as my extra question for obtaining momentum. What you're saying is that the damage that is done to not only space-time, but it's done to our warp-generating capabilities of the warp core on our ship.
I'll count that as a clarifying question. So no, you still have your free question.
Okay.
Yeah, that is correct. Yeah. So the effect has a deleterious effect of you basically not being able to generate a warp field inside because it's full of turbulence, space, time, and you think subspace as well is being affected by this anomaly. You've seen anomalies like this before, where warp is not. It's not. You're not able to go to warp inside that area. You're aware of spatial anomalies that can do this. They are a little bit. They're pretty rare, and rarer still is the loss of function of that sort of generation, that warp field generation capability.
Understood. Okay, so maybe this is my extra question then.
Mhm.
Do I think that this damage is reversible or non-permanent to space-time, at least around us, whether it's to the ship or not?
You're asking specifically about space
Yeah,
time
we're
itself?
the subspace, because we're in the subspace anomaly. Do I think that the damage that's done to the subspace fabric is that reversible? Is it temporary, or is it permanent? That's just like now this is a dead space. It's patch in space. And I don't know if it's additional. If I would know about any other kinds of occurrences where there's just. I know you said that there's dead spaces, or there's spaces and there's patches in space where warp fields are not able to be formed. Is this something that's going to be permanent like that, or is this something that's temporary and repairable because it's made by an artificial source rather than a natural occurrence?
So that is a very good question. I'm going to allow you to ask a different question. You lack data. You need. This is sort of you're scanning from the outside looking in order to see the potential for fixing whatever subspace damage is happening. That would require deeper and further study. Right now, you're just taking a base level scan. Free questions, GMK. What is?
I make a mental note that that's something I'm going to ask. I'm going to talk to the rest of the crew to research about. Okay.
So you still have a free question.
Wow. Jeez. Is the anomaly expanding, or is it simply a fixed point, a fixed size in space?
The anomaly is expanding. The expansion is. You think that this anomaly probably just within the past 30 minutes has happened. The rate of expansion you feel is at the very beginning stages of an exponential expansion. This could, from the data that you're looking at, Titan, you think that if you don't stop this, it could get larger and larger and just keep going.
Understood.
If you don't have a specific question to ask, I will allow just a flat momentum send, and I will give you more information.
Let's go ahead and use that momentum spin then for that.
Okay.
For more information.
Warp is not the only function of your ship that will get damaged. From at the sort of expanses of this, sort of the outer edges of this anomaly, there are going to be sensor disruptions. There may be some issues with like impulse propulsion. You see areas where there are gravimetric distortions that are waxing and waning in severity. You see, for instance, you see gravimetric sinkholes in this area that if you hit one, it's going to get real difficult without warp to get out. That is going to be. So another system that's going to be affected is you feel once you get sort of towards closer to the epicenter, you're going to start losing. There is this interference that is affecting power in general. you surmise that deeper and closer to the quote-unquote wormhole, the epicenter, power generation, especially without, will start to be effective. It could have a deleterious effect on EPS conduits. It could just affect power generation towards your ship and any other things that could be there.
All right. I'll give the captain a status report.
Okay.
Captain, this is serious. It looks like a warp dead zone is being formed. Some kind of anomaly that is expanding at rate. At this rate, it could encompass the whole sector eventually. Oh gosh, it's going to affect the graviton emissions. They'll affect sensors and
What
pulse
threat is
drive.
posed to life in this sector?
Oh god, I can't imagine. I mean, it's affecting all sorts of power systems, and well, biological systems run on power as well. So I can't imagine that it won't be any kind of harm to them as well.
Then it looks like we have a problem to solve, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Send that info down to engineering to Lieutenant Commander Kelly.
Okay,
Kelly here.
Kelly. Sending you some data now. I'm going to be bringing us into this in a few minutes. Be prepared for God knows what.
Aye, sir.
Yeah. Torg, pull power to the shields. Red alert. Nishizumi.
Oh.
Nishizumi, plot a course. Before we head in, Ensign Woodyard. Now I know this is limited data, but best estimate of where the epicenter is.
I'm scanning, sir.
Go ahead and
This thing is going out as a sphere anyway, probably.
yeah. So, Ensign, you're able to. I'll give it to you. You're able to sort of understand while the shape isn't necessarily, a perfect three-dimensional shape. You're able to discern that going deeper into the anomaly, approximately actually straight ahead of your current heading, you will be able to get into the general area of where the epicenter is.
Okay. Captain, I've determined the epicenter. However, I must caution, further penetration into the anomaly will increase the damage to the warp core.
I am aware of that, Ensign. Kelly, we're about to lose warp capability.
I'll see what I can do, sir.
Push comes
I
to
would
shove,
like to
we're going to
see
have a
what I
lot of
can do.
excess power.
Okay, there's an engineering roll coming. Let's head down to engineering. Ta-da! Boop. Let's see what this map looks like.
Ambient noise.
Yeah, as we cut down to engineering, the hum emanates through the engineering deck. You see, Commander Kelly, you see... you see Sega using company here. Lower deck. You see Chief Fox, as well as our wonderful Lieutenant Commander Mina Creighton is also in the engineering bay with you, along
Why
with
is Creighton hostile?
All
She
tokens
is
were
not-
set as hostile when they were created, and I just recently changed that. There, she's neutral now. And she's only neutral
Okay.
when you're around. Yeah. Tabletop RPGs generally introduce more enemies than friends.
That's
Hostile.
not a lie.
Not alive.
Kitty!
Kitty, little kitty, little kitty, little kitty, kitty, meow.
Oh, really? We're making that reference.
All right.
Yes, we are. I'm so
Alrighty.
happy you got it.
Alrighty, Kelly. We cut down engineering now. Kelly, you're sort of working at your command console there. What are you trying to do?
Okay, so what exactly is the problem I'm looking at? So,
Mhm.
from what I could gather from listening, what's happening is space is turbo fucked.
Yeah, so you're going into
Time is turbo fucked, and subspace is like feeling totally left out, so it's also trying to turbo fuck itself.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty much what's happening. But to give you some more specificity, the ability to generate a warp field in this area, once you go in, you see the data that Ensign Woodyard has sent down to you. That ability will not. You look at the projections to the warp field geometry. You are not going to be able to establish a stable warp field in here. Once you go past that threshold, you see projections in Ensign Woodyard's data, which is very clean and tidy and neat, by the way. That the deeper that you head into this anomaly, the warp core is at danger of not being able to function. Something about the way that subspace is working here, that sort of warp capability. You see that subspace is not only not able to establish a warp field, but you think that this warp core, if it's in there too long, could effectively be poisoned and not have the ability of working.
Okay. What is the power output of our warp core compared to, say, the total networked output of our shuttle complement?
Of your your entire shuttle complement versus your main ship warp core.
Each shuttle has 3 power. How many shuttles do we have?
We should have 5. 3 Type 8s and a Type 9.
The Type
And
8, the Type
Sabertooth.
9, and the Sabertooth.
Oh, and the Sabertooth. Right, the captain
Which
shot.
does not
aka
which
does not have a warp core.
Yeah.
We told that.
Yeah. Okay. So if we shut our warp core down, that will basically prevent it from getting poisoned, right?
If you shut your warp core down, if you were to fully terminate the power generation and reaction in your warp core, you believe that obviously you would not have any power generation from your warp core, and you think that. Hang on one moment.
Well, the warp core, it's just a nickname because it's needed to achieve warp speed, because that's the only thing that can produce enough power. But it itself does not produce the warp bubble, it's just an antimatter reaction. Is that gonna get poisoned?
That's what I'm asking.
You feel that the warp core, even being in this anomaly, deeper and deeper into this anomaly, could get damaged.
Whether or not it's turned on?
Whether or not it's turned down.
How does that work?
There appears to be a force at work here in subspace that has a deleterious effect on all warp-capable vessels.
Well, okay, you say that, but like the warp core, as the doctor pointed out, is a power generator. It is a giant-ass antimatter reactor. What's generating the warp field are the coils and the nacelles.
So you feel that shutting down the warp core will, by and large, mitigate the risk to the warp core.
Okay, cool. Hey, Creighton!
Yes, Commander.
Do you think we could run this ship on 3 shuttlecraft warp cores?
3 shuttlecraft warp cores?
Yeah, network them together, plug them into the power grid.
Creighton thinks something like that. I don't believe that the power generation would be enough. This warp core is generating. Just one moment.
Ikestra, do you feel that?
What's
That tingle way down in your cockles, right? Helly's scheming right now.
I
don't
tend
know
to
what.
assume Kelly is scheming and hope that it's for our benefit.
Yep.
Creighton sort of looks up and down and says, "Well, I've certainly not seen it done before. However, I mean, if they link together, basically it's just a miniaturization of the current technology that we're working with. I don't think, I mean, any more than a bump or any damage to the power grid, and this could blow up in our faces, quite literally."
Well, that's why we build breakers into it.
Right, but if you bypass, we're going to have to create manual bypasses to every system to the shuttle bay. And that's going to take time. I don't know how urgent this situation is, but it's going to take a pretty long amount of time to rig up 3 shuttle bays, get their warp cores running, loop them together, and then put them into the power grid. Sounds like an engineer's worst nightmare to me.
Well, take a look at this. She's gonna flick Creighton the data.
She sort of catches it.
If we don't want this warp core to become a heap of slag, we've got to shut it down. But we still need power generation, and the backup fusions, they're supposed to be for backups. So I was thinking we network the shuttles together, use that as sort of a tertiary system.
And then you see Creighton's eyes widen. Well, if the issue is the warp core could get damaged by whatever this anomaly is, why don't we take the warp core out of the equation? Also,
that's what I was suggesting.
Well, we could just eject the warp core.
Yeah, but then we don't have a warp core. Whereas if we shut it down, we have functionally removed the warp core from the equation while still having a warp core.
We'll just swing by and pick it up when we leave.
Yeah, but why cut out... Why... That's my suggestion with extra steps, Creighton.
It's going to take... it's another alternative. It will take very little time for us.
Your suggestion is her suggestion with extra steps.
Creighton
Sure, I said mine first.
Creighton looks at you and sort of smiles. It'd be faster, and it would take our warp core out of the equation without having to bypass our entire power grid.
Oh, we can still shut down the warp core without networking it to 3 shuttlecrafts. We would just be betting the entire ship's power systems on the backup fusion plants.
Creighton looks at you and... I think my way is the best way to go, Commander.
We're not going to eject the warp core if we have to. Or if we don't have to. And shutting it down eventually basically functions as ejecting it. It is completely inert, will not take damage, but worst comes to worst, we can spin it back up if we need power. We can't do that if we eject it.
I suppose, what are your orders, sir?
Shut her down, I'll let the captain know.
Aye, sir. And you see Kraden walks over to the warp core control console and begins the process of shutting down the warp core.
Engineering to bridge.
Which
ahead.
here?
This place could potentially completely screw over the warp core, make it non-functional. So we're going to shut down the warp core to preserve its integrity.
And
Okay.
how quickly is it going to mess up our warp core? Like, is this an instantaneous, we cross this threshold, we lose our warp core, or is it going to trickle down?
Slow poison, sir.
Is there a cutoff point where you'd feel safe leaving it on to generate our power up until a threshold, and then shut it down?
GM?
Here's a question that I have for the GM.
Yeah.
Can the Guan use deuterium fusion generators power the rest of the systems without the warp core?
What they're designed for.
They're not designed to sustain it. And the
They're-
ship can't go to warp, but they can.
Yeah. Basically, your impulse drive is powered by the fusion generators anyway. Yeah, you have plenty. You have the systems needed in order to sustain power on your vessel without the warp core. The warp core is there, so you have power available to go to warp, basically. I hope that answers your question. And
Yes.
Jack, what was your question? What's the cutoff line?
Yeah, would there be a PNR that I would be able to determine?
Point of no return, I assume.
Yeah.
Damn military terms. You think that probably in the majority of this area, a little bit of exposure to this anomaly will probably require probably will push up maintenance costs and things, and you'll need to have your engineer staff go through the sort of interfolds to gunk out the warp core, basically. But no permanent damage will last. It's just that when for the science readings that Ensign Woodyard gives you, you think at the highest rates of projected exposure, probably about an hour and a half.
It's not long.
She holds up a finger to Kraden, telling her to pause.
Yes,
1
sir?
hour, Captain. Then I'm shutting it down.
Acknowledged. Okay. That buys us an extra hour before we have to go full-on fusion reactors. Okay.
And I would like to work on alternatives.
Okay. What alternatives are those?
I think she said that in character, and I questioned the inflection of that voice. What alternatives, Kelly?
We're going to be brainstorming, sir. I'll let you know.
Fair enough.
Well, just a quick question. And you're sure that turning the warp core off will prevent the damage?
I don't want to have to replace the whole damn warp core. Do you have any idea how much that time and energy that's going to cost me?
Really? Because I've got a button that'll take it out in one foul swoop.
Yeah, it's putting it back in that's the problem, sir.
Okay. Kelly, give us an hour on warp. Give us a 5-minute warning. Then we'll switch over to the fusion generators. Dune, send a message to Admiral Yannick. Let him know where we are, what we're about to do, and the expansion rate of the anomaly and its effects. Send over its data.
Dune.
Nishizumi. Go ahead.
Dune says, "Yes, sir," and begins.
Nishizumi, using Woodyard's math, plot as direct a course to the epicenter of this thing as we can. You're doing this at impulse, so enjoy the scene. Torg, do whatever you can to help mitigate the damage
Aye, sir.
to our systems.
If I may,
You may.
she's going to get the engineering staff together.
And we go Sorry. Go ahead.
She's going to explain the situation, what they're facing, and she is going to assign a team to look at alternatives and assign a team to study the effects this place is having on the matter-antimatter reaction to see if they can isolate that to keep it stable.
Okay. You see Chief Fox goes, all right, I will get some of the best minds down in enlisted area and see what we can do.
Hop to it.
Chief Fox, he squints his eyes at you and says, all right, turns around and begins trying to hop on his prehensile tail away. Yeah, it didn't work. Sorry. And keeps walking.
Saoirse turns and looks at the rest of the team, just sort of at a loss for a moment.
IRL Tigger encounter. T-I-double-ger-er.
All right. Nishizumi, you got a rolling coming, dude.
Okay.
This is going to be a fun one. So, you were just given an order to plot a course through this anomaly. This will be fun. One moment. Lieutenant Nishizumi, please give me a control con roll. Difficulty of difficulty of 4, complication rate of 3.
Okay.
You got a lot of fun talents.
Oh, whoops! I did not mean to roll that. I am sorry.
Alright, we'll get rid of it. Are you going to be buying any dice?
Stand by. I keep forgetting that you don't press enter in the complication range. Otherwise, it will just roll. I keep forgetting about that. Buying any dice. See, difficulty is 4, right?
Difficulty 4, comp 3.
Do I have any assists?
The ship will be assisting you with. It's going to be structure com.
Structure?
You're going into an anomaly that could have a deleterious effect on ship systems, and you want to make sure that the ship can survive the journey.
Will Woodyard also assist as well? Because since he did make that math.
That's a fun question. Sure. Titan Woodyard, please give me a. I'll say this will be control science for you. And you're just going to be rolling 1 dice for assist. Just wait until Nish does her actual full roll to roll your assist die.
Alright. So, okay. Will astronavigation's focus work here?
I'd say so.
Or Helm Ops? Okay. Actually, I'm kind of curious. Would a Helm Ops work for this?
Yeah, you're at the Helm station.
Yeah, okay. Either one will work, okay.
Either one will work.
I was just curious.
Okay.
Let's see. See what kind of talents they have. What? I have
And then
okay. Gallantry, conspicuous of gallantry. How does that work again?
Good question. That's a medal, right?
That's a
Yeah, it's metal.
Conspicuous gallantry. Their names are very similar.
It's a medium. It's a momentum spend as an immediate. So instead of adding threat, you could add. You get a chance to get it back. So if you buy with bold, you have a chance to get it back.
Yeah, so are you going to be adding dice to your pool with threat?
I will do that to activate bold.
Okay, so just one?
Yes, I think so. But let
Okay.
me just figure out though. So difficulty's 4, and I will have 2 assists or 1.
2 assists.
2 assists. Okay. Let's see. And the conspicuous gallantry gives me 1 extra. Like, what does it do again?
However much you buy in threat, you can, at the end of the roll a d6 and have a chance to get all of that threat taken away again. So if you give him 6 threat, there's a chance that you give him 0 threat instead.
Oh, okay. I'm giving him 1 threat this time, so that's probably not
in that case,
really
it'll be
use that.
Yeah, exactly. If you're only buying for 1.
Alright, so
Yeah, so then that's spend. So go ahead. So you'll be rolling with 3 dice. Go ahead and roll 3 dice. Control.
oh, I keep forgetting. I keep forgetting to reset the comp.
Control con, div 4, comp 3.
Control con.
Control con, div 4, comp 3.
Okay. Fingers crossed. Oh, sweet. Did not need that bold then.
Perfect.
Should I risk it, go for the bold, or no?
Always go.
Yep. Yeah. So go ahead and, if you'd like to reroll the 10, you certainly can.
High risk,
Still,
reward.
that
We have
momentum.
Yeah, it's either fill momentum or we spend what we just got quashing the complication you're about to roll. In 3, 2, 1.
I don't think I'll do that. I will not risk that.
I actually didn't know
That's not
fair
very
enough.
bold of you.
That is,
I actually didn't know if I was
is-
rolling with a complication. Sorry, with a focus either. So if I rolled with a focus, that would have been 2 successes. But if I don't, it's just 1.
Yeah, and you have a focus. So that's
Okay.
2
I feel
or...
like astrophysics would apply as a focus here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
So just so that if that makes Nishizumi's calculations, on whether to spend or change the plan.
So that is 2 plus 5 is 7 equals 8 momentum. So
8
6
momentum.
momentum.
6.
And
With
that
2
2
float.
remaining floating momentum to quash the complication.
There is no
What complication?
There is no complication.
Wasn't
We got rid of the complication and using the
There,
determination.
no.
Right?
Gotcha.
This
there-
is a different
there no
roll.
complication.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, this is a different roll.
Back on track.
There is no complication.
There's not. Cool.
You're scaring me with that. Come on, don't do that.
Sorry.
Okay. There is 2 floating momentum on the table.
Can we use that as like an advantage or something?
Sure. What kind of advantage you want to generate?
Let me just think.
Maybe a way to shield the shuttle's warp cores from the effects of the deterioration. That's what we're gonna do. That's our plan.
well.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be related to the con roll. So
Yeah, so maybe movement, maybe perhaps we know what path to take without doing damage to the ship itself, I guess.
Okay, so I'll translate that to be you find a course that plots through the lowest density material. So you're going through you find some ebbs and flows in the path. So you're like, okay, well this path will actually take us a shorter amount of time, and it actually won't expose us as much toward with the anomaly as much.
Yeah, okay, just finding a path that minimizes damage to us.
Cool. That is an advantage if I've ever heard one. 2 float goes down to 0 float for that. You are capped at momentum. That was a fantastic roll. And we then... One moment. There is a button for this action.
Which there shouldn't be.
There isn't. Okay. There's
Why would I make an impulse sound? Impulse
I don't know.
forward.
Whatever.
It's space.
It's
How do impulse engines work? No one knows.
yeah.
Just
So
a fusion thruster.
just a fusion thresher. Nichizumi, your fingers play across the L-cards, and you tap in that beautiful force that, with the assistance of Woodyard, and together you slip into impulse. And as soon as you hit the threshold of the anomaly, you sort of look around, and the power towards the screens in front of you, the L-cars, sort of goes, whoa! You see a little fritz. And you continue on. As you enter the anomaly, the space in front of you is filled with... the space looks wrong. There are different particulates floating through the area. You see, it's almost as if little tiny flecks of debris are obviously being pushed aside by your deflector shields. There isn't any gas. There isn't any sort of... It's not like you're going into a nebula, but you see the stars as you're sort of going through this path that Nishizumi carved on the visual screens in front of you. You see stars sort of appear, and then they sort of... It's as if you see gravity is affecting the way that light is turning, so you see stars sort of whoa around you as you continue moving. Nishizumi, as you're being very controlled, you're not going you're going as fast as you possibly can, while still remaining safe. You see in front of you the screen, like your sensors that you use for con. You see, as you're going deeper and deeper into the anomaly, gravitational surges and fluxes grow in frequency and intensity. You see you're having to make more and more course corrections as these sort of sinkholes, gravimetric sinkholes you're passing. You see an opposite effect, actually. You see gravity in certain places is working gravity is all fucked up in this area as you're sort of moving forward. The deeper that you go into the nebula, into the anomaly, you've been at about 15 minutes now. You feel the ambiance on the bridge become tense. You see power fritzes once again on your... The lights are actually a little bit dimmer than they usually are as you continue moving in. Ensign, your sensors notify you that you're about another 15 minutes away at full impulse from the center of this anomaly. You see your sensors begin losing focus. You normally have a crystal clear view of the space in front of you within a pretty long distance. You sort of see the area around you that you're controlling with active sensors is becoming less and less in focus. Your long-range sensors pretty much don't extend past the border of this anomaly at this point. You're blind to the space that's outside of you, outside of the anomaly. Lieutenant Dune speaks up and says, Captain?
Yep.
We have lost... Something's wrong with our communications. Intercept communications is working fine, but I'm not able to detect any subspace signals.
I suspected as much, and that's why we sent out the message before we came in.
Captain,
Dune.
internal power systems are beginning to be disrupted. Long-range sensors are inoperative. 15 minutes to the epicenter of the phenomena.
And what's the timestamp at?
You've been traveling for about 15 minutes.
All right.
Lieutenant Commander
how's the warp
Kelly.
core looking? Kelly here, sir.
Shut down all non-essential systems. We don't need replicators on. You know the drill.
Also, spool down the warp coils.
Understood,
Have
Captain.
power flowing through them anyway.
Good point.
You see on each of your sort of command consoles, you see stuff like the sort of the botany lab, other sort of non-essential systems are shut down in favor of primary systems, life support, propulsion. You see that weapons gets sort of that additional power. My plan.
Hey, Fox!
Yes, Commander. You see he's typing rigorously at a station.
Go replicate everyone some snacks and drinks before I shut the replicators down.
You see that he and the rest of your staff looks at you and goes, yes, sir, and goes out the door. About 2 minutes later, he comes back holding just sort of a big bag of. He has some rations that he has in sort of a backpack. He goes, okay, this is if it gets really dire, but here I know lunch, so just salad. Okay. Hey Kelly.
Yo!
You see, he says, think fast, and hucks a sort of deluxe bag of just
30
like
bucks every flavor beans.
No, you see in it is like a value pack of gummy bears, gummy worms. You see some Kit Kat in there, some M&M. Like obviously not those, but yeah. I sort of looked and saw that you really do order quite a lot of these sort of foods, and yeah, there you go. I figured you'd want to stockpile somewhere.
Excellent work. And she shuts replicators down.
Hey, Kestra, you see that little light? You see that little message we just got right there?
Yeah.
Every time I've ordered replicator shut down, there is a huge spike in replicator activity from whatever Kelly's working, and then they get shut down. I've got the system just to automatically send me those messages now.
Well, I suppose it doesn't hurt anything.
No, it's just amusing.
Lieutenant Torg.
It's like clockwork.
Lieutenant Torg, make a insight security roll for me. Difficulty of 2. No, this is going to be reason security.
I don't like the way you said that.
Reason security. I'm going to say that you don't have a focus in this.
Okay.
Make it difficulty 1. Sorry, difficulty 1.
Okay. I will. Nope. I will go with as is. Here goes nothing.
Okay.
Even Steve could win with those cards, and all he can say
Oh
is
my
fair.
god.
And
Ouch.
there we are.
Okay.
Spend it.
Spend a quash.
You've already failed. Don't
Yeah.
play us all.
Well, does he have something to spend for a reroll or something?
No,
It's
I didn't buy any dice or
If he
anything.
wanted to re-roll with a determination, he could. I don't know how many times I can do the executive officer thing. If that's a once per mission thing, or
I believe it's a
spends-
one permission.
It's no. He can do it as many times as he wants if he has the determination to spend, which he no longer does.
that's true.
Yeah.
Of course, I do have a bunch of banked milestones.
Yeah. Oh, I used that once. It was great, and that's why I have no changes anymore.
I will spend 2 momentum to quash the complication and accept my failure.
Okay. Except your failure. 20 and a 19. God, that would be an amazing roll in D&D. So, yeah, continuing on here. Torg, you're working on, you're looking and busy in other systems. You're assisting security coordination. You see that you're writing up a report on the final drill before you got here. Actually, no, there was no chance to run any drills, by the way.
Yeah. I
think we ran one, and then this happened because someone
No.
rolled a natural 20.
I think I forget.
We did run the one drill. We didn't get our 7 days worth of drills, so we got only the single advantage of detecting cloaked Romulan vessels.
Okay. You look at you're rescheduling those drills because you still want them to happen, Torg. And your console beeps at you, Torg. Doo-doo. You you notice that there are some power fluctuations in the phaser arrays.
Captain, we are having fluctuations in the phasers.
Compensate. Let's keep those on as long as we can.
Commander Hagen
Or
to
actually-
Kelly.
Kelly here.
Would you take a look at the phaser arrays? Make sure that Lieutenant Toll just noticed a fluctuation in a power supply.
On it.
And Kelly, would the warp core rules apply? If we shut the phasers down now, can I have them later?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Kelly, so this is just, you see that as Kelly, as you get towards, sort of to the console and you look at the power generation systems and the routing for the, phasers, you see that, your console isn't working that great. You see that there's a lot of input lag. You see you're finally able to pull up the phaser scans as you guys are continuing into this anomaly. You see that for whatever reason, power is actually being drained from the phasers.
Well, that's weird. I'm going to try to trace the how and why of that.
You sort of are looking. You see that whatever this anomaly is doing, the deeper that you go in, power that is being generated from. I mean, just you see that the area around, sort of in the power grid, is just getting. It's not running as efficiently as it should be. You run a pretty tight ship when it comes to power generation, and the phasers are just not getting adequate power supply. You feel that you'll probably need to put in a bypass from other essential systems in order to compensate.
I would like to isolate the conduits that are struggling and bypass those specifically.
Okay. Yeah, pretty simple. You throw in a sort of a trach, if you will, sort of, and isolate those circuits, and go ahead and give me a reason engineering roll. I'm gonna say difficulty 1.
Alright, reason engineering. Does this involve computer expertise or assistance from the ship?
The ship will not be assisting, and I don't believe you're not using a computer console. So you see that you needed to run a physical sort of trace on that. You head up to the area in the ship where the phaser sort of area, array power system is, and you go in there. I'm going to say no for that, computers.
Okay. So, I'm going to go ahead and give you a threat for a bonus d20.
And then, let me look at your focuses here, Jack. I will give you...
Gadgetry?
I may offer a suggestion.
Yeah.
Electronic warfare.
I'll give it to you.
All right. Focus, yes. 3 dice. Anything else?
I was expecting you to have to fight more for that.
And that feeling right there, Kestra? She's very close to breaking a law. We don't know which law, but she's close.
But wait, that's illegal.
Jesus Christ, guys, come on.
I believe I just learned.
Yeah, all right. You see that the circuitry itself, from whatever distortions that are in this anomaly, you open up sort of the panel where the power taps are in this system. You see that the circuitry, you sort of take a engineering scan of it. It is breaking down at the molecular level. Like, these circuits are very close to being unusable.
Right. She's going to tap her comm badge. Kelly to bridge.
Go ahead.
We've got molecular decay happening on our circuitry here. If it's happening to the circuitry, there's a non-zero chance it's happening to us.
Acknowledged.
I'd like to take out a medical tricorder and do a quick scan of myself. Just to see if it's happening to us.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. You're scanning yourself. Reason medicine difficulty 1.
Would emergency medicine apply here?
No.
And then I'll buy a dice with momentum and...
Alright.
Uh-huh.
My sister just handed me a bowl of pasta, and it's amazing.
I'm gonna re-roll that 18. Just... shits and gigs.
Cool. 1 momentum generated. You see that, you appear to... Hey, congratulations, Commander. You're in perfect health. You work out a time or two. Seriously though, you are in genuinely perfect condition. You scan your symbiote. No, you're not a No, you're not a.
No, I'm a Beta Z.
You're not a. No, god damn it! I've done this one other time before. Shit. You're a Beta Z. You detect a symbiote. You're in trouble.
I detect a symbiont. How and why?
That's a tapeworm, Doctor.
I hope not.
Yeah, you appear to be in perfect physical condition.
It's why you're so diminutive.
That's just lousy genetics. Actually, her father and mother are both tall. She just happened to get the recessive short gene. But anyway, okay, so it does not appear to be happening to me. I'd wager a guess that biological organisms are fine for the moment. I think it's exposure to the anomaly itself that's causing it.
Well, I just pulled these circuits from the interior of the ship.
Maybe it's, say, the power systems?
Saoirse, check the bioneural gel packs as the link between us and the ship. That's our next best bet to see if it's going to start affecting us.
Was about to, sir.
Saoirse, you're in a different cube right now. There is an access panel for a bioneural gel pack in here.
Well, guess what's getting scanned?
AFK can't hear.
Okay.
I'm gonna be AFK in about 8 minutes.
Okay. You make a scan of the bioneural gel packs.
Yeah.
I'll let you pick. Go ahead and give me either a reason engineering or reason medicine roll.
Gee, I wonder which one that's gonna be. Considering I have 1 in medicine.
Hey, I don't know. I have to ask.
Oh, actually,
Roll it, you coward.
I have 2 floating momentum from that first roll.
Yeah.
Can I spend that to ascertain what is causing the degradation?
I really want to be a stickler for rules right now. I will allow you to. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. What is causing the degradation?
Yeah.
you scan this area, you see that there is. You scan some traces of the anomaly on these pieces of broken circuits. You detect some a type of. Actually, this is completely new. You detect on your tricorder a radiation that you do not recognize.
Well, this is unusual.
And you would surmise that this radiation is the cause.
So, I can analyze this radiation, yeah?
Sure.
Using this analysis, can I ascertain, say, a way to polarize the hull or adjust the shield frequencies to block that radiation?
Yeah, you think that you're able to modulate the shields in order to get this radiation to be. Yeah, you think that you're able to protect the ship from this.
Okay. She is going to log everything. Every scan about this new type of radiation, everything she comes up with is getting logged in like triplicate.
Okay.
But how about just call this new radiation Kelly sickness?
Oh, fuck you. First things first, get that relay get the bypass in place.
Yeah, it's a very short amount of time. You are able to sort of generate a bypass around the affected sort of systems. You see that to a lesser degree that molecular degeneration kind of is affecting to varying degrees this sort of area of the circuitry in the ship. You're able to sort of create a big bypass and exclude this area from use.
Okay. So once that's done, it's time to remodulate the shields.
And with that, we arrive at now. Nishizumi, you see that you are approaching the epicenter of this area. I am going to spend threat. Alright, I'm using rules that I haven't used before. 1 moment.
That's okay. We don't mind if you do the with just one threat.
4.
Calm down.
2 seconds. 1 moment. Shoot. Hang on. 1 moment. I had these stats pulled up somewhere, but then my window went away.
GM loading screen.
The girl from Maine. Okay. All right. Okay. How much stuff did I have? Sorry.
You had 20.
20? Okay, cool. I'm going to...
I mean 2.
Nishizumi, please make a daring con roll. Base difficulty will be 3, but I am increasing it to 4 and 5. I'm increasing your complication range to 3. Yep, daring con, difficulty 5, con 3. The ship will be assisting with structure con.
Definitely 5. Okay. And what was the comp again?
I shall be back.
We may not be here when you arrive.
That will be sad.
I mean, the characters. We'll be here, probably rolling new ones.
Div 5, comp 3.
Oh, comp 3. Okay. Helm Ops, I would assume Helm Ops or Astro Navigation's focus.
Helm Ops.
Okay.
You are pretty quiet, Nishizumi, if you could. I'm not sure if you're far away from your mic.
Oh. Okay. How does that sound?
Much better.
Okay. Alright, let's see. What can I do? See, the difficulty is 5, comp is 3. Okay. Wait, what happened to the thing? Okay. Trying to decide what are my options. Let's see. First of all, I'll go ahead and give you 1 threat for bold, and let's see, should I use my Starcross? What do you guys think? Because if I were to use it now, I can't use it again.
This is a comp 5 helm task. Those are rare. Sorry, 5 difficulty comp 3. They're quite rare.
Indeed. So, should I use my Starcross, or what do you guys think, or save it later?
I've said what I'm willing to say to weigh in on it. The decision is yours.
Okay. Any other suggestions? Anyone else? Other than the GM, because he's trying to kill us anyway.
He's not trying to kill us. He's trying to lead us to our deaths.
Exactly!
There is a subtle but important distinction.
Units, what do you want to do?
Yeah, I'm trying to get a decision on this one, but I guess no one's willing to provide any suggestions. All right then. You know what? I'll go ahead and use my Starcross. That doubles my focus range, right?
Oh, yeah.
So how does that work in the roll?
Just roll what you roll, and then we'll take care of it.
Yeah, basically, your crit is 1 to 10.
Okay. Okay, well, fingers crossed.
Just waiting on the ship.
Yep. I was just staring at that roll for a second. Oh, thank God. Oh, Guan Yu, I love you.
But I just used Starcross. How does that help?
So, Starcross would have made anything 10 or lower a crit. You just happen to roll a 13 and a 14 as well. Which don't crit.
Yeah.
You still do have bold, so you could re-roll. A 14 or your 13.
Right.
We have 4 momentum. There's no reason to risk it unless you want to create an advantage. Says the
do we have enough momentum to create an advantage though?
No, what I'm saying, you can either re-roll the 14 for a chance at a crit, which is only going to give you 1 additional success. It's not worth it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Alright. Leave it alone then. Yep.
Oh.
That gives
Starcross
us
is-
1 What?
One float. Starcross is probably a good idea. So, Nishizumi, as you continue moving forward, you see careening in front of you is you're about to close in on this sort of epicenter of this anomaly. Careening in front of you is a very destructive and quite possibly ship-killing gravimetric sinkhole. You have maybe about a second and a half to react. You see, the console doesn't even warn you that it's happening so quick. Also, your sensors are they're not working great at all. You see the anomaly come in front of you, your eyes shut, and for a second you see yourself on the sort of battle area that you're so accustomed to. You are at the controls of a tank, and you close your eyes. Instinct takes over. Your pinky hits the emergency course correction button, and you just barely get outside of the sinkhole of this anomaly. The Guan shakes aggressively. You see power dips suddenly, and just like the maelstrom in Pirates of the Caribbean World's End, you go around the rim of this gravimetric distortion with so much velocity and so much centrifugal force that you send yourself careening. You see you're spinning on your x-axis into the area of the epicenter. Inertial dampeners don't really help that much.
Quickly, everyone, lean left.
So, I'm going to roll, because you did an amazing thing and didn't go into this sinkhole. I will be rolling just 1, 2, 3, 4 challenge dice. Or instead of... Yeah?
Real quick, does our advantage of getting in here without minimizing the damage help here?
That helped with charting a course through the anomaly through the least dense material. It doesn't necessarily help when a sinkhole jumps in front of you, and you have to make huge course corrections.
Okay.
I will roll 4 challenge dice for the amount of people on the bridge as you all get yanked violently across, but the inertial dampeners have the time, due to Nishizumi's amazing maneuver, that any injuries that happen will be non-lethal injuries.
Good thing everyone but Torg is sitting down.
1, 2. There is 1 injury.
Dibs.
I'm gonna roll a D. No, not how it works. Sorry.
But my collection.
Commander, Captain Edwards, you are 1. Hagen, you're 2. Titan, you are 3. Nishizumi, you are 4.
What about Torg?
Oh my god. Oh! Yeah, Torg is in here. Hang on.
It's okay. He would have been 5, and then 1's still mine.
Nope. Sorry, we're doing this again. Wait, I will keep the original rolls. So if this
I returned.
Okay. If this rolls in effect, then that is okay. Actually, hang on. Let me look at what I rolled originally. Did I delete it? I'm an idiot.
No, you didn't. You rolled a D4 and you rolled a 1 on it.
Okay. I rolled a 1, 1, a 3, and a 4. Actually, the outcome is the same. Yep, it's Captain Edwards. Captain Edwards, you are thrown from your chair, and your head strikes the side of your chair as you fall.
Oh! I want it noted. It was a joke, and random chances decided.
Nishizumi will just say, "You are the most unlucky son of a bitch." But
Yeah,
she will not say it out
aid.
loud. But she will not say it out loud. She'll just say it to herself.
Left or right side?
You're going right there. Whoa, 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 whoa. As the power to the engines immediately, you see Nishizumi, just as instinct, you go all stop. to stop the spinning. You, as everybody sort of looks around, Hagen, you see on the floor is Captain Edward.
Oh, not again! And I start laying on first aid.
Great, first aid task. This will be daring medicine.
Any way I can convince you of control medicine?
He hit his head. Continuing. God damn it! Where's the thing that has all my cheat sheets? Where is that? Card stacks? No. Compendiums. Never mind.
Yeah, compendium references. Oh wait, no, I made a new one, didn't I? Oh no, have I moved? I don't remember anymore.
Okay. Sorry, there are rules for this. Yep, daring medicine test difficulty 1.
Okay, daring medicine difficulty 1. Emergency medicine as a focus.
For sure.
And I think that's all I'll do.
Okay.
I'll buy dice with momentum and a second dice with 2 threat.
Cool. Nice.
I'll re-roll that 20.
Roll 20 again. Okay. 2, 3, 4. That is 1. With 2 float. Okay. Edwards, you come to not where you were sitting originally, with a just so disappointed Hagen in front of you.
I'm going to make you wear a harness.
And just Ishizumi's just rather just like she's kind of like annoyed the fact that he is the one who keeps on freaking getting injured. But however, though, she doesn't show it, of course. She's just looking straight ahead, pretending as if nothing happened.
Do I catch that?
I mean, she will say you are the most unlucky son of a bitch, but...
No, I'm asking, do I catch that in her head?
Yeah. For sure, that's a service thought, I'd say.
But
like
of course, she doesn't say it out loud because... She doesn't say it out loud to burst everyone because you know, she doesn't want to completely...
Yeah, no, Hagen's not mad. She just kind of like bites her lips together to try not to laugh as she pulls out an analgesic and
you feel a pang of annoyance irradiate off of Ishizumi. That's immediately covered up by professionalism and just at doing their job.
She doesn't want to be completely disrespectful to the captain.
Captain,
Doctor, we have to stop meeting like this. People are starting to ask questions.
Torg, you see in front of you your captain with a minor head wound. Appears to be but a scratch.
But a scratch?
It'll be fine. This one won't even need surgery, thankfully.
Wait, I'm sorry. This is not really related, but somewhat actually, because you did say harnesses. Doesn't this ship have harnesses, or because I could have sworn
all Starfleet ships do.
Yeah, okay.
Sure, yeah. They had no reason to be wearing them.
They're just
nothing had
floating forward.
Because we saw that happen in Sovereign, for like the Sovereign class had them. Could have sworn, could have sworn we saw that in like Nemesis or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are harnesses. On pretty much all ships there are harnesses that can come out to assist, especially with vessels that have a planetary landing capability, because turbulence in the atmosphere is pretty intense sometimes, especially when you're entering it. So harnesses are a thing. Edward just didn't have his on because
why would anyone have it on? We were floating forward for the last 30 minutes.
Nothing had happened. Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, Edwards, you're back. You're back. Your head is your head hurts. But you feel
I
almost
did give him a
immediately
little
better.
hypo spray full of painkiller, but it's basically space Tylenol.
Yeah. Normal dose, heavy dose, extreme dose, Edwards dose. Click, 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 click. You go. Okay. Well, good job. Nishizumi, care to explain what just happened?
Wait, okay, GM, remind me, it was some kind of sinkhole that appeared in front of us?
Yeah, so a gravimetric sinkhole immediately sort of jumped in front of you, and you evaded, basically, is what happened.
My apologies, Captain. A sinkhole just appeared right in front of me, right in front of us. Excuse me.
Apologies not required. I knew whatever you were doing was good. I was just curious what it was.
I did a trick that I learned from my aunt.
Does your
The entire bridge looks at you and
frequently fly ships through unknown anomalies encountering gravimetric sinkholes? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, this seems pretty unique, even by Starfleet standards.
I thought your family drove tanks.
Okay, let me rephrase what I said. What I meant was I did a trick of turning that I learned from her aunt, is what I meant to say, but I apologize.
Torg, you're watching this happen, and you look down at your screen, and the USS Guan's shields have completely collapsed. Around you,
Our shields.
as you notice this, power around the vessel, around the ship, dims. The light above you fully goes out. Behind you, the consoles in front of you and behind each one of you are at the dimmest you've seen them.
Port.
Lieutenant Dune looks and says, "Sir, there are massive power failures throughout this ship. I'm not something with the anomaly. Dune engineering. What's going on?"
What is going on, GM?
You see the engineering bay. Normally, emergency lights are supposed to turn on. They are not turning on. The ship is pretty much completely dark except for the dim ambient glow from your computer consoles. And that's where we're going to take our break.
Oh, God damn it.
Lovely.
With that, meet back here. Let's say I'll give it 10 minutes. How about that?
Yeah. Most of us don't move anyway.
Alrighty.
I'm actually going to move this time, so I'll be back in 10. See you then.
10 minutes.
Alright. Kestra. He rolled dice. I was randomly chosen. After I made the joke.
I still feel like this is your fault.
I did call dibs.
I'm just glad it was you and not me, I guess.
Pretty much.
Because if I go out, we're fucked.
Like, I took 8 stress, and I'm sitting pretty. Edwards would be a Disney villain if you let any of these injuries scar over.
He will not.
I don't care if you're in a vegetative state, you will be pretty.
That's accurate. Otherwise, we can't show your face on TV. I'm watching a fencing match between someone who's using an actual rapier and a katana. It's really interesting.
I'd imagine so.
The katana, like, you'd think the rapier would have an edge because of reach and, you know, the style of its, you know, thrusting. But the guy with the katana can, like, knock aside those, you know, thrusts really easily, and it pulls him into range for a slice, and it's really cool.
Were we talking about swords now? I'm sorry, I was completely out of it.
I'm watching a fencing match between someone who uses endo and someone who's a fencer with a rapier, and it's interesting.
Yeah.
You know what sword is or weapon is underappreciated is the spear.
Oh,
Spears really are underappreciated because they're fucking MVP of real life.
Oh, they really are.
Every army throughout history used spears until we invented guns.
Specifically pole arms. But yeah, pole arms were used
Look,
by...
I consider anything with a pointy stick. If it's a pointy stick, that's a spear. Is it a halberd? That's a spear. Is it a pike? That's a spear.
Pikes are a little different though. Pikes are a bit more longer reach.
I understand the physical difference. I know all the weapons, but it's all spears.
I mean,
Kind of like how when I was a kid and I was playing video games, my dad would go, "Oh, are you playing the Pokemons?"
Or, you know, playing Nintendo, regardless of what console you're playing.
Right. Playing the Nintendo.
Which was actually a marketing strategy from Nintendo in the 1980s, because at the time, the video game market was seeing as dying. That it was done. After the big crash, everyone thought video games were just going to go extinct, so Nintendo was pretty aggressive about the fact that it wasn't they didn't want to be called a video game console.
It's a Nintendo.
Exactly.
Alright.
It is a family entertainment system.
It is?
Is this related to pole arms now?
The NES, because they didn't want to be called a video game console because of the console crash in the 80s.
Do you know why Subarus are associated with lesbians?
Because they deliberately marketed them that way.
Yes. Specifically, it started with an ad in the 1980s that said, Subaru, for the alternative family. Now that I think about it, is a really weird way to market to lesbians, but okay.
You know what? I never thought of it that way, honestly.
So, we're doing well. The little red off lines at the top there are more than just flavor now.
Right, you made some additional changes. What exactly did you do?
Oh, no changes since you got here.
Okay.
Well, correction, no visual changes that you could tell right now. The GM has a soundboard now.
Oh, okay, so it's just all GM changes. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
By the way, when this is recorded, is it from your screen or the GM's?
It is from one of my additional monitors. That's why you see both admin and Edwards. So
Right.
Edwards is the recording screen. He's just chilling over there, so he doesn't see any notes that the GM might have up or anything I might accidentally see that I shouldn't see, which I don't generally, but sometimes, I'll open something I shouldn't. But more often than not, it's just Edward sitting over there.
Oh.
Every now and then, I'll open a character sheet while people are trying to figure out what to do, so viewers can see what people have options to.
Speaking of, I've been accused before in D&D games of, you're metagaming, you looked at the module, how do you know that this is coming? And I'm like, this is a storytelling trope. It's in 1,000 stories. For instance, just off the top of my head, when a shady guy is trying to offload an exotic animal that's actually pretty easy to handle for what it is, and you think to yourself, I wonder where he got this. And as per fucking usual, it's because he stole it from something, from its mother. And the mother's gonna come looking for it.
Yeah, I'm the king of not metagaming, to the point where the GM and I, because I also run a game, right? We have a running list of whenever I read into a module, or a list that he has told me exclusively, you are not allowed to touch that. Whatever it is, you're not allowed to look. So, we keep everything above board. So, whenever I want to do a one-shot for you guys, I can pull from my half of the list, because I already know everything that's going to go on.
So, if I haven't ever done this mission, I know about it, and I want to play it, but I don't know how it ends. I only know the general gist of it. There is a mission in the original series mission book that can be adapted for, other eras, where you stumble across this spaceship that's the size of half a planet, and it's got a forest inside of it, and the forest is psychic. I've always wanted to play that mission because it sounds cool as hell.
Yeah, I haven't. Obviously, I haven't ran that one yet because you can see the list. Yeah, welcome back. Just waiting on Torque.
Add another bowl of pasta.
Nice.
Nice.
I had another barley sandwich.
What? Does that reference something?
It's a beer.
Oh. Okay.
You know what I found out that pisses me off to no end? Is that if you don't add hops to beer tastes like caramel or like toasted bread.
Which would be great. I do love
Why
that
in the
taste.
fuck did they add hops to beer? Who tasted bitter shit? Piss water, because back then it had to be piss water. This was the first time they were making it with hops, and thought, yeah, let's do more of this rather than the drink that tastes like toasted bread.
I think it's probably just to add complexity to it, right? Because what hops does is, anytime I hate beer, but anytime that I drink a beer with a lot of hops in it, it always gives me a tingling feeling in my nose that I'm kind of appealed to, but
No,
I don't.
It absolutely does add complexity and allows you to taste the depth of all the ingredients, and you're not just overpowered by toasted bread. But at the same time, why is the toasted bread version not an option?
Fuck you, that's why.
Nice. Jack's been in a weird mood tonight, and I don't know. Maybe it's because we're actually doing stuff.
Look, I just got back from spending a weekend with friends I hadn't seen in years. We went to see fucking Bandmade live. It was awesome.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's good.
The weeb.
Damn
Said
fucking
lovingly.
Skippy.
Fucking
So
Skippy.
there you go, Kestra. Now you know. The far right.
This is a lot.
Have you guys? Did you guys watch that video that Edwards posted?
Which one? Pure happiness?
Yeah.
And the unbridled
Yes.
happiness. It's so sincere.
Really? What the fuck?
I felt like I was listening to someone get their present on Christmas morning. You were like,
Yeah,
I never heard a more audible gasp than that one.
Oh no, oh, hi Torque. You back, Torg?
I am, but I have a roaring headache that's going to make me throw in my towel right now.
Okay.
Oh.
Hey, health is very important. I know that my voice is headache-inducing for most people, so it's good that this is being proved today. Totally a kid. Totally a joke. Torg, you feel better.
Help with that.
Okay.
I'll have a
Play safe,
pleasant
buddy.
evening. Kapla.
We'll see you next week.
Up, blah. Alrighty, with 5 of our players present, you see that Torg is like, and runs. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, Klingons are notoriously known for having low constitution.
I know. Just throws
Feel
up.
bad for the guy, but then the joke had to be made.
Yeah. Can you remove the me token from the crew?
I don't want to.
I'm gonna remove it.
Yeah, just right click delete. It'll go away.
Yeah. Because there's gonna be a meta moment where, well, I don't know, because there might be a meta moment where I need to appear in this game. Like maybe we'll do some temporal shenanigans or something, where it's you guys come in and it's me sitting in my room eating pasta or some other terrible thing that's terrible for me, sipping on my water with some flavor orders in it.
I'm sorry, did you just imply that pasta was terrible for you? Because
It
my
is,
grandmother was
objectively.
Italian, and I am deeply offended.
It is objectively, but that's just because bread is bad for you.
I'm gonna call bullshit on that one.
It's just pure. It's literally like everything that your body is like. Yeah, I'm just gonna store this somewhere because I don't really have a use for it right now.
Interesting
And then-
factoid. People regularly lived into their 70s and 80s prior to the invention of agriculture and bread because the sugars in bread caused tooth decay, which caused all kinds of other diseases, which shortened lifespans.
I'm gonna press X to doubt on that one.
Press X to doubt. Wow, you really are living in the 2014 memes, aren't you?
I never stopped using press X to doubt.
He referenced a cat video from 15 years ago today.
All right, let's start up on this game, huh?
I got the reference, so I can't really chirp him for that.
So, you all sort of, as the shields fall, Torg goes, "Oh God!" No, Torg does not do that. Torg says, "Captain, it appears that our shields are down."
Okay.
Um,
Any other systems?
Yeah, Captain. As you look at your panel, you see
Yeah.
that your panel is barely lit. You see that you have primary life support. You have impulse power about probably like a quarter impulse. You have maneuvering thrusters. You have no energy weapons to speak of. You see that this area of space is so toxic and virulent and just not great. You can see that for sure transporters are going to be difficult to use. Communications is very, very hard right now. Intership communications is barely hanging on. Kelly, engineering right now is like, you see that Fox is running around. Sir, I don't know what's happening. Something with the power. I'm trying to...
Can someone tell me why the fusion generators aren't online?
I'm keeping what's left of the fusion generators online right now. I'm
What do
trying
you
to...
mean, what's left of the fusion generators?
There's something going on with this area of space. I'm not sure. I'm not able to get them to respond. Engineering teams 3 and 4, go to... Hello? Okay, yeah, intership communications is experiencing temporary blackouts as well. What are your orders?
Edward.
Get
Sorry, go
those
ahead.
fusion generators up and running.
Yes, sir. You see Fox heads out of the door. The door doesn't open right away. And then opens. And then you see an engineering team follow Fox up to the fusion generators.
Groom and Grisk. Run down to engineering.
Mhm.
Tell Kelly what just happened with the gravimetric distortion. And get me an ETA when we get some systems back online.
Sir, you see crewman Gris heads to the nearest shuttle bay. Turbo lift. And shuttle bay and leaves.
Maybe recommend avoiding the turbo lifts during a power outage.
Yeah, you see he actually gets up to a turbo lift and the door doesn't open. Sir?
Jeffrey's tubes, crewman.
And you see he walks down the auxiliary hallway.
Good kid, tries hard. Alright, we've got our runner in place. 11 decks is a long way to run.
Especially through Jeffrey's tubes.
She just thinks to herself, like...
One moment.
He's kind of an
I'm going to try to reach out to Kelly. Telepathically.
Okay. Make an insight medicine roll. Difficulty 2, comp 3.
Okay. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I'm gonna spend 3 momentum to get 2 dice on this. Telepathic prowess as a focus.
Yeah.
At comp 3.
Comp 3.
Oh dear.
You doing okay, Castro?
I'm gonna spend 2 to quash one of those and re-roll the other one.
Okay.
You doing fine?
Please hold.
Please hold.
Please hold.
Pushes a mute button on your chest. Shut up. Okay, that is 3 successes, 1 momentum generated. You actually have to steady yourself. You have an intense, as you open up that link, you have an intense sort of feeling of the general anxiety of the ship. Power is being lost there are power losses in pretty much every primary system. You feel some people are injured. You feel anxiety, distress, fear, some panic. You feel people are working as hard as they can, and you're sort of muscling your way through that, and you're able to establish a link. You feel Kelly's mind is accessible to you.
Saoirse, just hit a gravimetric distortion. Nishizumi was able to get us around it. Do you have any updates on what's going on with the power supply?
I can tell you that something in this area is so fucked up that it is inhibiting molecular fusion from taking place. Now, I'm no scientist. I'm an engineer, which means I do in fact know a lot about this shit. That shouldn't be possible without something physically inserting a control rod into the reactor. Oh, also I discovered a new form of radiation today that was causing the parts of the ship to deteriorate. So that's
Congratulations.
fun.
Kelly radiation it is.
I'm not
Ensign.
sure I want something that eats starships to be named after me, thanks.
Too late. Ensign.
Motherfucker!
Shouldn't have discovered it then.
So you guys see that Kestra is just intensely focused. There's sweat coming down her head. Just you guys can't hear any of this.
Ensign Woodyard.
Captain.
Commander, but go ahead.
Oh, Commander.
You tried your best.
Lieutenant Commander Kelly is saying that there is something inhibiting molecular fusion, which is causing the power outages. That's what she says. Do you think that you could maybe find a way to help her find a way to fix this?
Yeah, happy to. I start to get up from the station, back down. Should I go down to engineering? Stay.
Seeing as communications are offline, I would recommend it.
I get up. I get up and I start running towards the towards the turbo lift, and then I realize, oh yeah, it's not going. Just
Ensign?
Ensign just like thinks to himself, why are all the ensign belows are complete idiots?
Okay. Jeez.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear what Nishizumi said.
Yeah, Nish, get closer to the mic and.
I'm sorry. Nishizumi just thinks to herself, why are all the ensigns and belows are complete idiots?
Yeah, that's
And Kestra, you hear that?
that's what
We've all been new, Lieutenant.
Ensign, as you stand up from your console.
out of character. One question.
Yeah.
Do we all know? I know that Karen Hagen did a scan on herself. Do we all know whether the radiation is or whether she's breaking down or she's okay or she's fine? The status of the health.
You know that. Ensign Titan would know that Hagen is fine. That is the facts of the matter. You could surmise that everybody you feel fine.
Yeah.
Like you feel normal, other than the anxiety that's.
Just to be clear, Titan only is aware of the only person that Titan is aware of having any deleterious effects from the radiation is Kelly, correct?
Is Kelly
or someone in engineering?
No, no person has been experiencing any decay yet.
Okay. I'm sorry, I must have misheard. I thought that it was a fact, but it's a theory. Got it. Yeah, I mean, because Titans do the same thing. It's humans are biological. Never mind. He's heading towards engineering. He starts running.
Does Kestra still have the link with Sersha?
Yes, you do. I do want to repeat again. Ensign, you hear a beep at your console as you stand up.
He sits back down again and takes a look.
You are very close to the epicenter of this to this phenomenon. Yeah, one moment here. One moment. You sort of sit down and you look at the area that the system automatically is able to, with what power it has left, it is able to sort of take a look at this area of space, and it sort of tells you you've arrived at the epicenter of this anomaly. It's able to outline a area of space where this anomaly is originated. That space looks something like this. There's no more ambient noise, and it was very disconcerting because I didn't realize it until it was gone.
We did hear a beeping noise.
I got it. You see this area of space around you. Your sensors are barely functioning. They are hanging on by tooth and nail, but you're able to sort of see this area of space as what it is. You think that the epicenter is somewhere in this general area. The Elcar system very helpfully gives you a 10 by 10 grid in which a search pattern, essentially, to look at this area.
Got it. Captain, we've reached the epicenter of the phenomena. My guess, my hope, is that the ship causing the phenomena, the spatial phenomena, is located somewhere in this immediate area. I can try and tune the sensors to find the neutral, the graviton emissions, sensors are really, really, really messed up right now. That's a technical term.
I understand. Okay. Well, we've got impulse power. We have next to no other systems right now, minus life support. Lieutenant Torg, how are the launchers?
Lieutenant Torg checks. Torg looks down and says, "Captain, it appears I have one working torpedo launcher currently. I have my security staff trying to work on the power generation of the our forward torpedo launchers are currently enabled. Our aft ones are experiencing difficulties. I cannot get them to respond."
Can't we just out of character? But can't we just fire torpedoes manually? Do we have that feature?
Yeah, I mean you have the launchers, as I just said, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, basically you put a torpedo in a tube, you close the tube, you open the door, and space goes and just sucks it out.
Yeah.
I do believe they also have like an actual propulsion system built into the tubes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
What about our probe launchers?
Well,
Those are literally the torpedo launchers.
I think so, but you know.
Yes, we can. Torg looks at you and says, "Captain, yes, we do have the capability of launching probes as well."
Cool. We are Kestra, you have communications with Kelly? Based on the sweat on your forehead, I'm thinking that's an affirmative.
She's muted right now, but
I forgot I was muted.
Hold on.
So, just real quick, before we continue, wanted to say this. Tyler, this is fucking amazing for giving us Wrath of Khan, and I love you for it. Just wanted to put that out there.
Yep. Yeah, no problem. Hey.
Secondly, yes, Captain, I do.
Look, Kestra, we both know I'm a lot of things. Pretentious is not one of them. I'm not going to name something after myself. That's what assholes do, okay? We're calling it Kappa radiation.
Kestra, tell Kelly to shut up for a second.
She's saying that we should name the radiation she discovered Kelly radiation.
Perfect. Ship log, name it that. And
The ship log does not respond.
where is my Yeoman? Taking physical notes.
You see, there's this shitty little crewman, like third class behind you, going, "Listen, I'm really trying. I have other things I need to be doing. Can I please go and do that?" Just kidding.
Okay. Just let me know when I have ship systems to the best of their ability back online, and we're gonna start searching for the cause of this thing.
Captain, your orders?
The orders are engineering, get ship back online. Nishizumi, keep heading forward. Woodyard, launch a probe, see how far it goes before we lose any data from it.
Yes, sir. I communicate.
Now, obviously going forward is... Yeah, obviously, I'm looking at a grid. Edwards has no frame of reference, so go forward. Let's see if we can't cut this thing off.
Is forward one to the right, one to the left?
All right. Let me lay out the rules of the game here.
Yeah.
As a GM. Starting now, we are in combat time.
You said a bunch of things outside of combat. Just saying.
Mm-hmm. Yep. As of right now, this very moment, we are in combat time. So that's totally fine. I will allow something to happen before I say that. If you guys do a bunch of talking, I might not punish you, but I will be firm in my, hey, what are we doing? So, the way that this works is we're going to be using galactic compass points, basically. Up on this map, the top line is coreward. Okay, so because it's going towards the galactic core. Down is spinward. Sorry, hang on. One moment. Cool, hang on. So it's coreward is up, So north. South is whatever. We'll just use north, south, east, and west. That's fine.
I was going to suggest rimward.
How about
Yes,
just writing
rimward
it
is the
down
word that
somewhere? Writing it
is the
down
word-
somewhere,
yeah.
that way we can remember
Yeah.
in the future.
Yeah,
'Cause I'm
core
not
word-
going to remember
Yeah,
any
I'm
of
on
that.
Okay. So core word is up. Rimward is down. Spinward is left because that's the way the direction that the galaxy is spinning. Anti-spinward is to the right.
And
Okay.
I'm muting for a moment or two.
Oh, okay. So north,
I can still
south.
hear, just
yeah.
be muted.
Okay, cool. North, south, east, and west. Coreward, rimward, spinward, and spinward. Does that make sense for everybody?
Yep. Coreward up, rimward down, spinward left, anti-spinward right.
Absolutely. This this map is an abstraction, obviously, because it's a 2D service. I wasn't about to go and give you a Z-axis. That would just be awful. And I would have to figure out a way to manipulate 3D spaces in this, which I'm sure is a capability, but it won't. So going up and down will be, for the purposes of this, not really a thing you can do. Okay? Physically you can, but just like, you guys are you guys all following me?
Yep.
So there's no way for me to dictate for you up and down, like
Maybe we
on
should
this.
just say the letter and number, like we're moving to A4 or B5.
Absolutely, and that's why I have a coordinate grid for you. Now, you do have engines. The way that this works is we're going to be using maneuver rules. Okay, so the maneuver rule in the book is you can move anywhere within medium range. Medium range is you're here. This is medium range. This is long. This is long range. This is extreme range. Okay. Basically, a normal maneuver action, minor action, is doing that. Okay. You do not have warp right now, so you are not able to really do much more than that. Usually, you would be able to use power to warp. Technically sprint, right? Like to here. But so we're moving one space at a time. Because of the way that combat usually works in Star Trek, I will always allow on your turn a move of some sort. Okay, so Nishizumi doesn't always have the only thing that she can do a bunch of different things. I will always allow you as a group to maneuver on your turn. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Basically, we can do something or we can move.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Nishizumi can
Okay.
move or move.
So moving is not considered a player action, basically.
It's a
No.
ship action in this. Yeah. So you as a group can move with the ship. Or you
So-
can do something.
So it's a
so,
ship
like-
action, not a player action then.
Yeah.
No.
Well, explain it,
Sorry.
Edward. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. So, like, we each have our own abilities, right? You, as the helmsperson, moves the ship. I can order people to do stuff, and Kelly can fix things. Instead of fixing things, Kelly can basically move the ship instead. So it's still Kelly's turn, basically having you move the ship to another grid. Basically, a lot of us are telling you to do things.
So
Because, like, we need to move somewhere and then scan, or move 3 spaces, which takes 3 turns. Or so on and so forth.
okay. So Nish, you can certainly do other stuff. You don't just have to move on your turn. You have a full list of options that you can do. You can probably even fire a weapon from your station. That will be a roll, of course, but you would just declare what you're doing. Okay. So is everybody clear on the rules? And does anybody have any questions?
I think the rules are clear a little bit now.
Okay. Cool. Awesome.
The Jack returns and thinks he understands.
Thinks he understands. Awesome.
Well, You're
So,
spending your turns fixing my ship, okay?
That's the idea. Also, my ship. I just let you drive it.
Don't even do that.
So another thing to say, you have a sensor range right now of medium. You're able to see anything that pops up in a radius of one square around you. So if you were here, you would be able to see everything in here. Okay, that will become important as you begin to traverse your way here.
Sorry, I had to save my wife from a dog. I'm back.
Okay, cool.
Is the dog okay?
Yeah, I just had to shoo it away. It was a tiny little thing, but it, being
From-
aggressive.
A dog or your?
No, a dog.
Okay.
It's a random dog. I don't know whose dog that is.
Edwards, we don't need vision for this. Right?
That seems
So-
kind
Oh
of.
no,
kind of
I was just seeing if I could put on some sort
okay.
of circle we could see. But no.
Okay.
It didn't work as well
Okay,
as
cool.
I was hoping.
Okay, I was like, are you after me because I don't have anything else. You can see if I had anything, you would be able to see it.
That's no moon.
For
Actually, the moon on this image is way over here. I cut it out.
So, for everybody's information, there could be obstacles in here. I will neither confirm or deny. There could be other ships in here. I will neither confirm or deny. You have a weapon at your disposal, torpedoes. Your shields are down. Transporters currently are not functioning. You have no warp. You have no warp. You have the ability basically to shoot a torpedo, to fire a probe, and to move at this point. However, you are players and are smarter than me. If you offer me a solution to give you and your ship an ability in this very difficult situation, I will be more than happy to hear it.
Can I use... Once again, I feel like a one-trick pony, but use my telepathic abilities to try and see if I can determine, like, a ship is going to have a lot of crew on it, and in space, any amount of emotion is noticeable, because there's nothing other than what you're used to. Unless something else is nearby. So can I look for a large mass of emotions? I'm not looking for any specific thoughts, I am just looking for a presence. In a direction.
So, yes, I will allow you to do this. I'm going to do a very scary GM thing and ask you, are you 100% sure you would like to do it?
The answer is
Do I
always
have-
yes, because you're damned if you do and damned if you don't, and if you're gonna be damned, it might as well be for something you did.
The answer is yes. However, I have one question. Before I do.
Yeah.
Is there any way that I could get a warning of what what could be the bad consequences of trying this? Like, just kill me is the question.
This is something that I will say as my policy as a GM. I will never just say you're dead now. Okay. However, I would. You currently do not have the data in which I can give you a warning this way or that way. I can allow you to do so if you'd like. So, there is. I'd
like
say,
to try.
Okay, cool. Go ahead and give me. Yeah, this is going to be Insight Medicine. We're going to say. Yeah. So, specifically, Are you looking at towards? I will break this down by quadrant. Okay. Is there a specific quadrant of the grid that you are looking at, or are you trying to look at the entire grid?
I'm doing a trade-off. Instead of looking for their specific location,
Okay.
I am looking for their direction. Which way are they? I'm not looking for exactly where they are. I'm looking for which way do we go to find them.
Okay. Please give me insight medicine. Difficulty of 2. Comp 4.
Okay. Okay.
Just reducing it, the range of this.
In that case,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use the Surgeon's Decoration.
Okay.
Decrease this difficulty by 1.
Cool.
And also, what I'm going to do. I'll activate the Star Cross on this, which will double my focus range.
Okay.
I'm going to buy a dice with momentum.
Cool.
Actually, no, I'm not. What I'm going to do is I'm going to spend one of my banked milestones, give myself back a determination,
Okay.
and activate failure is not an option. This has to be done. If it's not done, it's the end for the quadrant. Failure is not an option here.
Cool. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So basically, you succeed.
Yes.
So go ahead and roll your 2 dice plus your determination, and we'll see what happens with
I
your
won't activate
comps.
Star Cross.
Okay.
Take that one back. But
Okay.
yeah. I'm gonna re-roll that 20.
Okay.
The comp range 4.
Comp range 4.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
1,
No.
2, 3, 4. Right.
4. I didn't activate Star Cross. Yep.
3 momentum generated. So. 1 moment. Nope. You are the direction of. You are able to ascertain this direction variant.
Right is port, left is starboard, correct?
Right
just-
is anti-spinward. There's a note under the social areas.
Okay. In the ship, I'm detecting a presence. Rimwood and Spinwood.
Acknowledged.
Anti-spinward, right? Right is anti-spinward.
Yes, anti-Spinward. Rimward, anti-Spinward.
Before we continue, you do not sense just one being. One group of beings here. You sense another in this direction.
I'm detecting one other. Corewood and Spinwood.
Basically forward, up, and down. Perfect.
Well, there's 2.
That's
One in
yes.
one direction, one in the other.
All right, that works surprisingly well for me. Thank you. I get that right, Tyler?
I cannot confirm or deny that.
Damn. I was really hoping you'd take that bait. Oh, damn. They got me in one. Okay. So that's Kestra's turn over.
That is Kestra's turn. Is that the only thing that you want to do on your turn? That is your action, I would say. You still have a minor action, or you can...
Can I reach out to... I don't know if this would require another roll. If it does, then no. Can I reach out to Saral with the same method I used to locate Kelly and have him send emergency medical crews out just to try and find the injured crewman?
I would call that a dispatch medical team role.
Mm-hmm.
Just instead of using communications, you would use that telepathically. That would require another roll. You do have the ability to swift tap. That costs, I believe, unless anybody has quick to action, which I believe the only person who has quick to action is actually not here. I believe the Torg usually has quick to action, but since the player is not here, well, that's actually for keeping initiative. For swift tasking, I'm sorry. Hang on one moment. Give me 2 seconds. It's been a little bit since I've run this. So swift task is conflict momentum spends, opportunity initiative. Yep. So that is swift task is 2 momentum. You can attempt an additional task, increasing in difficulty by 1.
I think I'll wait for my next turn for that.
Okay. Are we keeping the initiative, or are we going to let the turn tick over?
Pay for it.
2 momentum?
Yeah.
Is there... Okay. Anybody... it is still your crew's turn.
Okay.
Who would like to go?
I have a question, really quickly.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I was given the order to put out a probe. Is the probe been sent out, or do I have to wait till my turn to do that?
The probe has not been sent out.
Okay, that's what I thought. I just want to make sure.
Well,
Okay.
we know it's forward and up or forward and down, so we could definitely go forward. So, Lieutenant Ishizumi, you want to take your turn? Unless you have another.
Honestly, I don't really have any other plans. I think I've been in this situation before in a different game. So we're almost playing hide and go seek battleship style.
Sure.
Yes.
Whatever mnemonic device you need to assist you with this.
Is our ship wearing glasses? It's not Guess Who?
Hey,
I just want to say for a quick flavor thing, Estra at this point is actively sweating. She has cotton mouth, and she's starting to develop a headache. She's been using her telepathy a lot, very intensely.
Hey, Edwards, would you be able to copy this whole board and give me just another page that's blank?
Absolutely, I can.
Thank you. Just so that I can keep track. My method is good, but I want to have two ways of showing it.
Yep. All right, there's a copy. I'm just going to delete those squares off it that I made.
Thank you.
All right, there you go. You should see. I'm going to name it something so it's easier to see.
And not search for the Green November.
Hey, you don't tell me things. I'm going to make my own stuff.
Search for the Blue December.
That's
Search for the Blue
month. There you go.
Okay.
I've named it the
So-
copy, so you
Okay,
know
cool.
exactly which one it is.
And then, if you could,
Yeah, I'm
please do me the kindness to
I will never
go
look
on.
at that tab.
Okay, cool. Just give me 1 moment. Let me get my stuff set here. Apologies, everybody. Okay, let's go to the select tokens. Okay, let's go here, and then let's there. Okay. One moment, everybody. Just a couple more things.
Really? You're doing that there?
I know you're not on the tab, you little shit.
Oh, God, no. I like surprises as much as anyone.
I hate surprises.
Ooh, Hagen's on the edge
that
of their seat.
Sorry, I hate surprises in the real world. When it comes to games like this, I don't want to know. That takes the fun out of it.
Sorry about that, everybody. Just need to do
No,
some
no.
prep on my end. All right, go ahead and whoever's going next, please go next.
I didn't realize Borg cubes had stealth technology, but you know.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Nishizumi, you want to take your turn? Just move us. Unless you have a better plan, move us forward too, and then we can start going up or down depending on the outcome of other people's turns.
Alright, honestly, I do not have any other idea to do, so I guess we'll just move forward, I guess? Is that what you guys want me to do?
Yeah, I would say one B5 would probably be a good.
Hold up on that, actually.
Yeah,
We have sensor capabilities one square out. He said things could fuck us up. Let's scan before we move.
Sure, you want me to send that prom out now? I'll do it first before we move then.
That's actually a good idea.
Yeah, send the probe out.
Okay.
And send it coreward and anti-spinward. So send it towards J1.
Okay. Here's another mechanic. Are you ready?
Fuck your probes.
Titan. As you take a look at the specifications of the probes, your probes will work for a full round. Okay. I will let you know when the round has been over with. Your probes have double the range. Have double the range, the sensor range that you do. Okay.
2 squares out.
2 squares out. Correct. So, for example, if you were to launch it here, they would have a range of that.
You didn't actually indicate anything.
Oh, yeah. So if you were to do that here,
Okay.
your range would go through all these squares.
Okay, in that case, all those squares, 2 squares out. Okay, good to know. In that case, I want the probe shot here. And so we'll fire a probe at grid H3, because that should encompass 2 squares in all directions.
Aye, Captain.
Okay. Is that your action?
That is my action.
Okay. A launch probe task. One moment. I hope that's a thing. Science.
It is. It is.
Okay. Launch probe. Reduces. Okay. So means that hazards from proximity. So that is going to be a control science roll, and that will be difficulty of 1 increased to 2 due to a complication of the area surrounding the anomaly has a deleterious effect on that technology. So to launch it correctly, it's difficulty 2. I'm going to spend threat to increase the complication range to 3.
Do I have a focus?
I'm going to say I'm gonna say center operations will cover this.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to use I'll use I'll use 3 threat to get 2 dice.
3 threat for 2 dice.
Yes, is that correct? That's correct, right?
Absolutely.
1 and yeah, and 2.
Okay. Awesome. Go ahead.
Okay.
That'll be 4 dice in total. Okay. That is 3 momentum generated on that. Yes. Ensign Titan, you launch and give me your official what coordinate are you going to be sending the probe to?
H3.
H3. Your probe. 1 moment, please. I can't believe. I cannot believe what you just did. I cannot believe what you just did. I really do not. Oh no. Okay, move the box.
Yeah, sorry. I'm trying to draw like non-solid blocks. Give me. Carry on.
So,
me. I'm gonna draw squares in the bottom.
Your probe. You launch it to that coordinate. Your probe, for a brief moment, picks up the visual signature of a Romulan bird of prey.
Nailed it in 1.
I can't
That's the power
believe
of math, people.
I can't believe you just did that.
There. Now I can draw proper squares.
Nice. Captain, Romulan bird of prey. At grid H3.
Well done, Ensign. I know it's not our turn, but I'm going to say it anyway. Lieutenant Nishizumi, prep a course. It's their turn, so.
God damn it.
Still have 1 ship that is unknown to us, though.
True. I love the idea of our probe just thunk on their hull. We were abruptly stopped.
I said for a brief second that your torpedo, you pick up that, you literally hit the Romulan warbird, Romulan bird of prey with your probe, and your probe goes dead. It fragments against the hull.
Can we just say that the
Meanwhile, on the Romulan ship
was like a mine?
What did you say, Nish?
Can we say the probe was a cloaking mine? You know, like one of those from DS9.
Sure, yeah. Point to me on your character sheet where you have that ability. Also, that's just illegal to have. Just outside of that.
I mean, they had them in DS9.
Yeah,
they did have them in
did
DS9.
a lot of illegal shit.
Yeah.
Like Benjamin Sisko is a war criminal. Several times over.
Fully illegal. And
It's not a war criminal if you're not in a declared war. Otherwise, it's just a sparkling atrocity.
Yeah, technically, yeah. That's kind of right.
So, your probe hits immediately. God damn it. Your probe hits bird of prey, and you are not able to collect further readings. However, you do know that there is a bird of prey in coordinate H3.
Romulan ship. Bong. The fuck was that?
Sir, we're putting it into the cargo bay now. It says, from Edwards with love.
So, is that your turn?
You still have a minor action if needed.
Oh.
So if you go into the compendium, which is that weird looking top right phone book looking thing, however it says compendium packs,
Right next to
the way
the
down
music
to-
notes on the right.
Yeah, right next to the music notes, right down to references. You can see all of our quick references. In your case, it's sensors and internal systems, combat momentum
okay.
spends. Yeah. So
Okay.
you can drag that onto your action bar, but
So, the you know what? Yeah, I don't think that we need to do interact or change position, prepare, and restore are the only things I can do. I don't think we have any problems yet. So
you can also spend 2 momentum under conflict momentum spends as a swift task and fire a second probe. The GM's gonna kill me.
I see. So would that be under?
That's under conflict momentum spends. So basically, you can spend to take a second major action.
Oh, that's not bad. Okay. Well, there's no combat stuff. I see. Extra minor action. I'm so sorry. I didn't plan to do anything else. But now that I know that it's possible, you know what? Next time, I'll do it next time. I don't want to hold anything up. So let's just
No. If you want to swim task and you want to do something again, you are more than welcome.
Okay. Well, I do think that a swift task would be great.
Mm-hmm.
And then send another probe out to say G8 or so, or maybe even
G8 right here.
Yeah. Does that sound about right, guys? Or should I do? Well, yeah, or maybe even H8. H8 would be the best, I think.
H8 basically confirms what Kestra is saying and gets rid of the few spaces in between us.
Sure. Okay, let's do H8.
H8. Okay. You are going to do another launch probe task. Control science. This will, since it's a swift task, it's increasing difficulty by 1. So you will be doing control science difficulty 3.
Okay.
And then I am going to again spend, and I will do just 3 comp 3 control science.
Let's go ahead and use 3 momentum then again to get 2 extra die.
Okay.
I don't want to give you any more threat. I don't have to. I'll put 3. Okay. All right. And then the focus stays the same. And let's do it. Perfect. Wonderful. Sweet.
Okay. I believe that is a critical failure, correct?
Yes.
Spend it to quash.
Yeah. So 2 is it 2 momentum to get rid of that?
Yep.
Okay.
I believe it is still a failure on that test, correct?
Yeah, it's only 2 successes.
I guess launching a probe wouldn't help.
Well, technical expertise. I guess. Not reroll. No.
No. Sorry, Ensign Woodyard. I believe, as a science officer, you have testing a theory. When you attempt a task using engineering science, you may roll 1 additional d20 so long as you succeeded at the previous task covering the same scientific and technological field as the same adventure. I believe firing a probe in a different set of grids counts. I'm so sorry, Tyler.
God. Well, that's fine. Okay.
I love that. That's why I did it. Okay. So
confirm to me again the coordinate that you're launching it at.
H8.
Okay. You launch a probe. You lose the probe signal.
Oh Lord.
That's good. Wait.
Well, but we don't have the exact location. Okay. I mean, yeah. Shot.
Well, the warbird is what we're looking for, correct?
We're looking for one of 2. One can assume that our friendly commander, Kumin, has come out here as well.
Right.
If you're
he had
getting
a
2
Veridex.
True. Anyways, no longer our turn.
1 moment. I'm removing a token from the board.
Oh, right.
You detect motion in this quadrant, in the anomaly Titan, going forward. You detect some level of propulsion. Forward.
From the second probe, correct?
From the second probe or for the first one?
For the you are able to detect some level of ambient movement with your sensor.
Either that way or that way.
Yeah.
Little penis arrows.
Captain, I believe they're moving forward at the moment. Or someone is. Some movement is going forward. I think.
Acknowledged. We have the confirmed warbird, so we'll head in that direction and see if your forward theory holds up. Lieutenant Nishizumi.
Yes.
It's your turn.
Okay.
Take us to B4.
Also, we're gonna look at the conjuring packs real quick, just as kind of like for references, see what I can do. Okay. Well, you guys just want me to move over to B4?
I believe that's what Pagan had said, yeah.
Okay. Are we just not going to scan that area first?
Your sensor your sensors are scanning always. You are just out of range of so like if you were to move here, your sensors would go and be able to detect here.
Okay,
Like,
so we already know that there's nothing there then? Okay.
you know that there is nothing in B4.
Okay. Alright then. I will move over to B4 then.
B4 it is.
That was my action?
That is your action. Absolutely.
Alright then. Miners.
I'm gonna home rule this, Nishizumi. I'm gonna say since you're the helm person and anybody can elect to go, if you want to use your action and the ship action to move, I will allow you to move double the distance. I'll let you move anywhere within long range. So if you'd like to move here, I can allow. If you want to move here, I'm sorry, I'm trying to indicate to you. So Nishizumi, if you're really only intending on just moving the ship, I will allow you to move anywhere in long.
Okay. So I can move 2 spaces if I wanted to then. Okay.
Correct, yeah.
What do you guys think about that then?
Well, if you can move 2 spaces,
That's a good idea.
Especially with forward, I would go to C3.
C3?
Yep. Because worst case scenario, we get here and have to head down.
Okay, then. I guess we'll go over to C3 then.
C3 it is. Confirming. Ensign Woodyard. You see that the proximity detectors are going off. There are gravimetric anomalies to your anti-spinward. And to the anti-spinward and rimward. So there's an anomaly here and an anomaly here.
Okay.
Okay. Lieutenant, please caution to the anti-spinward and the rimward direction. Please caution. There's gravimetric waves.
Yeah, just keep pinging those. Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Acknowledge. Thank you.
All of you have
Hanson.
drawing tools, by the way.
Okay.
Just that little
I don't
pencil.
know how. I don't know how to draw.
I'll take care of it.
Thank you, Ensign. I will keep that in mind.
Okay. I believe you have already kept initiative once in this turn, so unless
Yes, correct.
Nishizumi would like to swift task using do not have a momentum for swift tasking. So I believe that is the end of your turn, correct?
That's how yeah.
Yep. I think that's. I've just used my minor and my action, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So yeah.
You did. One moment. You detect movement in the spinward direction.
What?
It is your turn.
I think he says spin word. So
Spinward.
Yeah, but that
Left.
makes it behind us. Unless
I think
so. Yeah.
I think
Are
he's
we
saying from
maintaining-
their last
No.
known position.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Okay.
let me be very clear. You detect ambient movement not but to your left, but you detect movement in some area of the board that is moving in the spinward direction.
So there's something moving this way, over here.
There is something moving to the left.
Oh,
It
it's
does not
moving
mean
to the left.
there is something moving to the left
Okay.
in the entire grid.
Okay.
We have the capability to launch another probe.
So if this ship, I cannot ping it, but I don't know how to ping it, but if the ship
Just click it.
in
hold.
H,
Yeah.
so if a ship here was moving, then it would be moving. It would probably be here because he just moved here, and then he moved left. That's assuming they were the ones moving. But if these guys down here, I cannot ping anymore. What the heck? Oh, here it is. If people were moving there, then they could very well be over here though.
Yeah.
Is that what I'm kind of like hearing?
Could be there. Could be there. It depends on who took which turn.
Yeah. Okay.
So in reality, I'm going to get rid of the arrows. Bring that one back. Fuck it. Okay, cool.
Start
So
learning how the game is working.
it's our turn.
I'm just kind of think of this as like Battleship, really.
No,
Only
that's
except
exactly
not
what it is.
without-
Except they can
Yeah.
move.
Yeah.
Saoirse, take your turn.
Okay, I need to get our ship's power systems up and running as much as I can. That's my goal.
One moment.
If I get power up, everything else follows.
So, you have, Kelly, a couple of options. You can work on your sensors to increase your sensor range. You can work on your engines to increase your movement range. You can work on your weapons to activate phasers. You could work on communications to get your communications up. And those are your options. Basically, those systems are in states of disability, and you working on them would bring those slowly but surely back up to their normal working parameters.
Okay, I guess I'm gonna work on sensors first.
Or if you had another option that you just wanted to just do, you can let me know and we can talk about it. working on sensors?
Yeah, I guess so, because, like, I feel like just trying to get the power up and running to, feed into multiple systems in the ship would kind of destabilize the submarine vibe you're going for, so I'm just going to work on the sensors. Let's get the sonar up and running.
Are you having fun, Jack?
Yes.
You're having fun?
Yes.
You promise?
I'm having a lot of fun.
Okay.
If
And
I wasn't
also-
having fun, I would sound more upset.
Well,
Also,
sometimes
my
I can't really
sphincter
detect.
is clenched because I'm so stressed.
Also, I
Normally,
wouldn't
this
lie
game
about
has
it.
little shot glasses at each square, but I'm having fun.
Battle
shots.
Battle shots. That's an awful way to. I mean, that's a great way to die.
Yep.
Right?
So
Every hit,
You
you
want-
have to take a shot.
So you want to increase the power to your sensors?
Yeah, let's get the sensors up and running so we can see what we might need to shoot at.
Okay. This will be. This will be a control engineering role, not assisted by the ship. This will be control engineering. Difficulty of. I'm going to say the sensors are not in that. Are one of the better systems on your ship that are working right now. So I'm going to say difficulty of 3. However, I am going to, again, increase complication range to 3.
Okay. Electronic warfare focus to cut through the interference?
Absolutely.
Okay. So I don't think any of my computer stuff works. So I will give you a threat for a third die.
Third die?
Yeah, you said difficulty 3, comp 3?
Diff 3, Comp 3, control engineering.
Diff 3, comp 3. Okay. Yeah, this... I should be good. Yes! Yes, I'm good. I'm very good. I'll
Alright.
reroll the 17.
Oh, yeah, please do. Okay. Alright. That is 5 successes under 3. That is 2 momentum generated. You can do one of 2 things, Jack. If you'd like, you can increase your range to give you... One moment. Let me find a way to best talk about this. So, your range is currently these 9 squares. If you'd like, you can either with this roll go 1 dimension up, giving you this area of space, or you can give yourself 1 dimension out, giving you this amount of space.
That's sexy.
What do y'all think? 1 dimension out?
1 dimension out.
1 dimension out.
So this way?
Yes.
Okay. Yep. Awesome. Your sensors detect as you flick on another area of space. Your sensors detect no further anomalies and no other ships, other than the ones that you've already discovered. Okay. Jack, is that your turn?
That is my turn.
Alrighty.
So
Now?
just to recap what we just found then, sorry.
ahead.
We got anomalies here. Oh wait, I'm trying to think it. Anomalies here, here, and here, but up here is empty.
Correct. Yep. The red circles that are written on there are representing the current anomalies that you have found. So the gravimetric distortion.
These blue squares can go away. They mean nothing now.
Okay.
So the big blue squares are our probes doing probe stuff. The little blue squares are possible locations of ships. And the little red circles are things we don't want to drive into. There's also about tracks. Should also be one there and there. Cool. So Kelly just had her turn. GM, have you had yours?
One moment.
If you don't want to take a turn, I understand.
No. Everything's fine. You detect no movement. However, Ensign Woodyard, you detect on your sensors that the anomaly as a whole is strengthening.
Oh.
And if you would like more information, I will allow a spend with momentum.
I would definitely like more. I'm just going to go ahead and spend it and see what information you can get from the sensors.
Ensign, you are running out of time.
Captain, the anomaly is growing in strength. I think that we're running out of time to stop it or shut it down.
Thank you, Ensign. We're currently trying to find it, and we'll shut it down as fast as we can.
Okay. It is now your turn.
I'm going to take my turn, finally.
Okay.
And use the direct action to order Nishizumi to move the ship to E3 through grid D2. So, move up, then down. We know both of those spaces are currently safe.
Okay. The direct action happens. The ship moves here. A moment.
Yeah, and because Nishizumi, she can move there as well.
Okay.
As soon as you move to this coordinate, you detect if you can remove this square, please. You detect on your sensors a Romulan bird of prey. You also detect a anomaly of the same type of a gravimetric anomaly in this square in G4.
Can someone draw that, like a red circle there?
Yep, working on it. It is not the most intuitive drawing system.
And is there any gravitational ratings here or here?
You have not detected any.
Okay.
Anywhere within that green rectangle, our sensors are just doing their job.
I don't see a green rectangle.
Oh, sorry. I hit it because I was trying to draw that red circle. There. That green rectangle.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. That green rectangle is Saoirse doing her job.
So
I'm helping.
Here's just my guess.
I'm doing my part.
So here's my guess. The gravitational.
I hear you, Starship Troopers.
The origins of gravity. Sorry, this is I'm just spitballing here, but my guess is that the gravitational readings are probably going to be the origins of it, the origins of this anomaly, so to speak, would be somewhere over here. That's just my guess. I could very well be 100% wrong, but I'm just spitballing.
So, to go back on our last week's chats with random NPCs, either the ship itself is creating wormholes or is actively generating the anomaly. They were trying to turn their engines into a wormhole generating MacGuffin. So, with any luck, figuring out that will allow us to either find it or destroy it.
Okay. So, who was our Romulan friend again? What was his name?
That was Commander Kumin. Who's
Commander
out here. So, Commander Kumin, which I'm sure is not spelt right in my logs, was the one who showed up at the station and just said, "Hi, please don't kill us. Find this ship that you recognize and know from previous missions." That same ship we've been said they were trying to come over to the Federation.
Oh.
Basically, yeah. So basically, we have two different Romulans saying, "Trust me," and they're both out here somewhere. One of which is fucking up subspace. Now, considering what Commend said, I'm gonna lean saying he's telling the truth. Considering, subspace is fucked up.
Well, we do know for sure he is telling the truth because
Yeah.
right?
As a GM, I am going to step in here. I'm going to add a threat.
Oh, sorry, spending.
We are in.
I'm
No,
talking.
that's totally fine. That stuff needs to happen, but we are at combat time.
Yep. No, that's fair. That's the price we pay for bringing people up to speed. Okay, cool. GM, I just had my turn having Nishizumi move forward. I don't want to spend those 2 momentums, so it's your turn.
Okay. You detect.
We do have advantage detecting cloaked Romulan vessels.
Yeah, this one isn't cloaked.
Oh, good. That is really easy to detect.
You detect a Romulan bird of prey, and you see that they move. Ooh, what are they gonna do? Hang on, I'm gonna roll something. You see. One moment, I'm spending a threat.
What?
I don't like the wah wah sound. Can we change that?
The sounds are account. Like, you change those yourselves. You can set your own sound effect. That's all you, buddy. I'll log into your account later and change it.
Thank you.
To something worse.
You see that this Romulan bird of prey. My Foundry crashed. Are there still drawings up on the player map? I cannot see them.
Just hit F5. Your Foundry functions like a web page. Just reload.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
Everything's host side, which is on my computer, so. And it saves every 60 seconds, so even if I crash, we're only backlogged a minute.
Okay, I can see everything now. You see that the Romulan bird of prey fires a missile. I'm sorry, not a missile. Not a torpedo. Well, a torpedo, but not that kind of torpedo. This torpedo just barely misses. And you see it explodes behind you as it gets swallowed up by the anomaly in Sector D4. Jesus Christ.
That was loud.
That was perfect. That was perfect missile level sound just because it's so quiet otherwise.
Mm-hmm. No, you're right. Alright, one moment here. I'm going to immediately drag those because I want to use those more. I love the fact that you have multiple... Oh, that's a disruptor. Hang on.
Yeah, Because Klingon,
Torpedo.
Romulan, and the disruptors sound different.
I love you.
I ain't a scrub. Scrub. I don't want your number, scrub.
So, and then I'm going to spend 2 momentum to threat to keep the initiative, and you see that they move out of sensor range.
Is that all? Great. Torg? Get
Yes,
the
Commander.
shields up. I don't know why we're still floating around without fucking shields on, but you know.
Without fucking shields. Edwards is getting drunker and drunker as this goes.
I work tomorrow.
Oh, okay. You see Torg goes, all right, Captain. And will be... Basically, your shields are completely down, so it is going to be a restore shields action to bring them up. 1 moment.
Restore shields is an engineering task. It's on systems and internal systems.
Okay.
So
Where's the...
that's not going to fly this turn because he's not an engineer.
He says, Captain, there's something... engineering is going to have to take care of this. It is outside of my field of expertise.
Acknowledged. Well, in that case, I like being out of their range right now. Fuck. Alright, Torg. Do something useful. Damn it, Torg, where are you?
What would you like Torg to do? I will not be acting as Torg. I cannot.
No, I'm
in
looking.
good conscience do that.
We can blindly fire into this direction.
They were here. That means it's a 1 in 3 chance.
Because they were here.
I will say that you know that they're in H3.
Torg, time to earn your
Yes,
honors. Fire a torpedo at H3.
Excuse me, I have some concerns.
They are at medium, long, extreme range, so that is +1 to difficulty for the torpedo task. 1 moment as I pull that up.
I've got a sheet.
Okay, security, tactical. Firing a weapon! That is control security, assisted by weapon security on the ship. That will be, I believe, torpedo is difficulty 3 is standard, so 4. Difficulty 4, control security.
Okay.
Does he have any focuses?
Yeah,
I sure as hell hope so.
Engagement tactics.
Sure, I'll give it to you.
Okay, cool. And Saoirse, you want to grab the ship for us?
Maybe once I get back to my PC from making a milkshake.
Okay, Nishizumi, you want to grab the ship for us?
Sure.
What is it?
Damn it, now
He
everybody's eating during this.
Alright, so...
He did not take gold, no.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Seems counterintuitive for a Klingon.
He's not your typical Klingon.
Interesting.
GM, I would like to purchase back the 2 momentum we spent on retain the initiative. Quick to action affects the round, not the player. During the first round of combat, you and your allies may ignore the normal cost to retain the initiative. I'm so sorry.
Go ahead.
Just push my glasses up my nose that I don't wear.
You don't wear a nose?
That either, yeah.
Yeah,
I lost it back during the Pie Wars of 2015.
That was a hanging fragment.
Okay, cool. I am going to keep this interesting and buy 1 with momentum, 2 with threat.
Everyone knows that the Pie Wars were an inside job funded by the emus.
And the ship's
Fucking
a
emus.
You're on timeout.
Emus are
Punch,
always
Nishi.
planning.
Yeah. Go for it.
You actually muted me.
Yeah, I had that power. One moment generated.
I do have a 2015 Pi story for after the game.
Oh my god, you actually fucking hit. Okay.
Have you met me?
Oh no.
I hit impossible targets and I take injuries. Those are the two things I do.
No. Give me 2 seconds. Oh god, their shields weren't up either. Okay. That was so you didn't add full spread on that?
I did not add full spread on that. We can't afford it. We only have one tube working, last I heard.
You can still fire a full spread.
I mean, we could
I will not allow it now.
No. We're basically just poking at them. They poked at us, we'll poke back.
Roll damage
but
for
our
your
poke
torpedoes,
was more
please.
like a punch directly into their eye.
Yeah. Photon torpedo. I'm going to re-roll those 4 blanks.
Yeah, re-roll that, please. That's horrible.
Gonna do the combat momentum spend on the re-roll.
Cool.
Re-roll damage is just a 1 spend. Okay, cool.
Yep, go ahead and roll 4.
Yep. And photon torpedoes have what as the effect?
They have versatile, but you didn't charge them for anything.
I did
They
not.
do have vicious, I
What?
think.
Yeah,
No,
I don't
they're-
think torpedoes have versatile.
Oh,
Yeah.
nope, they have vicious, I think. Do they?
I thought.
High yield.
I believe you have to declare that.
Weapons, photon torpedoes, high yield. No, high yield just happens.
And what does that do?
Basically, it inflicts double breaches.
Oh, and
Oh my god!
you're kidding. It doesn't actually.
No, high yield.
No,
This
it
weapon inflicts
actually does.
massive damage to enemy vessels. If the attack inflicts 1 or more breaches to a system, it inflicts an additional breach. Pew. Do you want me to get the sound effect for you?
No, I'll get it.
Okay.
You detect a detonation. I'm so lucky. Okay. 1 moment.
Oh, are you?
We're having such skilled players, he is.
Okay. You inflict. They have. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4 damage. Yes. Yes. Hang on. 4 damage minus 4 resistance. Boom! No damage.
But you have all those breaches, though.
No.
It's after resistance.
Yeah. So 4 minus 4 equals 0 damage.
Wait, a bird of prey is a scale 4 ship?
Bird of Prey is a skill 4 ship. A Dideridex class is skill 6. Yeah, you feel that you have hit them, but the hit was not strong enough to inflict any damage. That is your turn, I believe.
Yep.
Unless, oh god,
No, that's it. That's the end of the round for our side. You get one more
Okay.
turn before we come full circle.
okay, you're not going to swift task.
Of course, I'm going to swift. No, I'd have to spend
No.
momentum for that. That saves us from the criticals we'd like to fail at. I will not drop us below 2 momentum.
I was gonna do a rally task for my turn.
Your turn. This is a Torg doing a second attack or Torg doing something else.
Right.
This isn't the next round.
Okay.
Okay, so
Yeah, no, go.
1 moment. You detect movement to the anti-spinward.
From which probe? Because you know that information would be separate. They'd come in with, like, an identifying code.
Well, remember that that the probe in the top right quadrant hit the warbird and the bird of prey
that's
and
a
was
good
destroyed.
point. Yeah.
Yep. So that's why. So that probe is no longer functioning. You were able to see the bird of prey for a second, and then it hit the warbird. So.
Yeah, so as far as we know, he's there, and that guy's been chilling around. Oh, that's so much cleaner.
So who just moved then? Just bring me to speed then. It was this guy? Or
That guy
was it
shifted down a bit.
Anti-spinward is what I said.
Yeah, anti-spinward.
And spin.
Which is right.
So, right. So he went this way.
Yeah, but we can't detect this square.
I have
So
a
this-
theory
Oh, oops. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
It's
that
okay.
something about the anomaly is causing a mirroring effect. Can I?
Look at that thing.
Can you do what? What is the?
Is there any kind of roll I can make to? I have no idea, to see if this theory is correct. That we're looking at something that's like a reflection.
Oh.
Dr. Hagen, this thought comes to Dr. Hagen's head. You are quite literally without data. So you cannot even begin to form a hypothesis. You think that would be awful, but you have no data to support it at this point.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to roll a challenge dice. On a token that I don't want you to see the name of. One moment.
Just roll on one of our tokens then.
Oh yeah, good idea. Actually, no. How about this? Captain Edwards, please roll one challenge dice.
Name effect with extra steps.
Okay. It is your turn. It is the beginning of a new round.
Alright, new round. Kestra, I believe you said you wanted to do something.
Yes, I just wanted to say we've got the number now. I think we can do this. Just hold on a little longer, and I'm gonna do the rally action.
Okay. Rally action.
I'm trying to encourage them using the rally action. It's technically the command discipline, but would doctor's orders switch that to medicine?
Yeah, I'm going to read the exact wording of the rally task. The CEO inspires and coordinates.
Sorry. Those got retconned. It's now CO and XO. It's just not updated in my references.
Okay.
Yeah, got
The
updated
CO,
in
yeah,
books.
the CO and XO inspires and coordinates. Yeah, inspires and coordinates the crew. I will allow a presence medicine task with a difficulty of 0.
Okay.
Such as the rally test. Basically, this is just to generate momentum.
Yes. Should I... One moment. Should I use the star cross here just to generate as much momentum as possible?
I would say probably. Me as GM would probably say not, because you're already at 3 momentum.
Yeah, you're at 3. Like, we're almost full. At best, you could get 2 more float and spend that on maintain the initiative.
Okay, I'm gonna spend one of our momentum, to get a dice, just for the reroll.
Well,
Composure for our focus?
I'd say so, yeah.
Oop. I'm gonna re-roll that 19.
You generate 2 momentum. You see that the crew all says, "Aye, sir," and begins to focus more. You feel sort of that sense of just suspense and anxiety among the crew, at least on the bridge, subsides and is replaced with, "I have a job, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it because I believe in this ship and its vessel and its mission."
Okay. Now, I have given us enough that if we want to swift task, we can still quash a complication should one happen.
Yep.
Okay. Are we going to keep the initiative?
I want to, keep the initiative, pass it to Kelly, get the shield back up.
Okay. That is 2 momentum to keep the initiative. Sure, we still want to do it?
I know what I want to do, but now it just feels like I'm playing the game for everyone. So please, somebody else weigh in.
Kelly's got bold, so if anyone's going to be able to do this and generate some momentum, it'll be Kelly. You can add dice by spending threat.
Kelly,
instead,
we're in
and
combat. Get the shields up.
I'm captain.
Alrighty. So this is going to be a restore shields roll for Commander Kelly. This will be a control engineering roll. Difficulty of 1, assisted by structure engineering for the ship. The shields are... I'm sorry, this is going to be difficulty 2, because the shields are currently at 0. A success means that you do regain 2 shields. You get 2 more shield points per momentum spent after the success of the roll.
Okay,
Roll high.
I will be using my interlink node and my direct neural interface.
Okay. I believe one of those reduces difficulty, right?
No. I get a bonus d20, and I get to re-roll the ship's d20.
Sounds good.
In 5 minutes, I shall have to go.
Okay.
That's not good for me.
What is causing the shields to be down?
There is a field of radiation combined with the subspace turbulence, combined with whatever real space anomaly is occurring, that fully dropped the shields, and pretty much you need to get into the gunk of the shield generators in order to get them to spin up again.
Okay. So hear me out. Electronic warfare. I am trying to counter external interference.
I'll give it to you.
Fuck yes, thank you. Okay, and I will give you 2 threat for a 4th die.
Okay.
I will re-roll the 19.
Okay.
Oh!
Well, there we have it.
Okay. The task does succeed. But there is
Task
a
failed
complication.
successfully.
Task does succeed, but there is a complication. Are we letting that complication stand?
I am going to let the complication stand so that other people can use momentum that I didn't generate.
Okay. Your shields do activate and turn on. You hear a boom. And then, Commander Kelly, as your arm is sort of sunk into one of these generators.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
We still need to roll the ship's d20.
Yeah,
I see. Go ahead and roll the ship's d20.
on it.
Come on, guaranteed natural 1.
No, I'm not helping nor hindering.
Re-roll it.
Reroll it.
Do that thing that is required. While I look up references.
Hey!
All right, that is 1 momentum generated. Are we using that momentum to add more points to the ships?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. The shields, you feel that you basically need to bypass and rip out circuitry in this shield generator that is no longer functioning, the result of which your shield map has gone down by 4 and will require repair that you do not have the capability of doing.
Oof.
The good news is that's still 1 more than we used to have.
Mm-hmm.
And I did get us shields up.
You currently have 4 points of shields.
Now it's your turn.
Best
Nice
I can
one.
do, Captain. Shield system's fried.
I'll take what I can get. Thanks.
Ready?
You keep.
So,
All right. Yeah, you get a turn finally.
I am going to ask this. I know that Ketcher is about to leave. Is everybody comfortable with continuing, or would you like to save it until next week?
Oh, we would be down 2 players.
We would
And
be
I'm
down
okay
2
with,
players.
But not 2 character sheets. I mean, just keep rolling.
Yeah, but I'm
I know.
I'm a little
I-
iffy on playing when there are two players missing.
Okay.
I think
I would
think
actually,
I'm
I
okay
actually
with
need to eat dinner
playing-
too. I haven't eaten anything
Okay.
since.
Okay,
Alright.
well, no.
So, with an outro, as the USS Guan Yu's shields come back up into life, you are faced with a shocking set of circumstances on a field of mystery, a field of danger, a field full of Romulans, and that's where we will leave off with the USS Guan Yu. Catch us next week when we dive into the fray further and see if we can stop the collapse of civilization. See you soon.
Voodoo.
Fantastic.
Just scary.